on, man.
Hi, Captain.
See you, what up? Adam, what up? Look, yeah, the mic's hot, baby, take no days off. Them other pods, everything that they say soft. No plays off, no plays off. Yeah, the mic's hot, baby, take no days off. Them other pods, everything that they say soft. Adam, see you, this is Thor, it's no plays off.
Yo. What up, everyone? Yeah, three of us back together again. Cough, see you, Thorpe. Good to see you. Good to see you, fellas. And by all means, we want to hear from you guys on the chat. If you're with us, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter. How we doing, guys? I mean, how's everything? Thorpe, how's life in Fort Lauderdale? Are we all... You guys don't even give a crap that Team USA is out. You're not following this stuff. You don't care. I was gonna ask how you feel about the nation letting us down, but you're not even invested.
I mean, I did watch
lost a lot of money.
Night. You bet on it?
Whole bunch, yeah.
What are you doing? That's like
just for America.
Yeah, but it's like such a the most public play in the history of sports was to take US yesterday. I'm not saying it was a bad bet. I just
well, you do it for your country.
Yeah, it's entirely for the country.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't work.
Put your money behind your country. Where can you put it, Sia?
Yeah.
Not behind your country. That's not very good at soccer.
At least you didn't bet Belgium.
I haven't had I haven't bet a single World Cup game.
Still?
Nothing.
Your guy Bucket's on fire?
Buckets is on fire. I'm sure there's some BNN's got some guys on fire. I'm just not interested in betting. I appreciate why it's so popular right now. And I think there will be some residual fans even after the World Cup. Not a high percentage, but an appreciable percentage. With all that said, I do not enjoy betting on it. That doesn't mean I don't like the sport. It means I do not enjoy betting on it. I'd much rather bet baseball, basketball, you name it.
Are you enjoying watching it, though? Just the sports fan that you are?
Yeah.
There have been some captivating games.
Oh, there's no question. It is captivating. The World Cup in particular. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been an enjoyable watch.
I started watching after the group stage.
For me, by the way, I asked Buckets on social media. I tagged you, so you probably saw it, and I said, "Oh, you need to come on with us on our next show on Thursday." He's like, "Deal!" And then we moved the show to today, and it completely skipped my mind. I didn't even ask him.
Well, I didn't see that, and he wouldn't have been able to come on Thursday anyway because I think he's traveling back from the studios. But honestly, probably after the World Cup would be a good time for Buckets to come on because he's great regardless, World Cup or not. I mean, he's so entertaining. By accident.
Thorpe, you did you downsize a chain since we started the show? I felt like there were more chains around your neck when we began.
They're just sticking together right now.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, my bad.
And now you're in a tank top, which just feels very Miami. I feel like you're assimilating to the culture. Although that color tank top, I feel like it's got to be a shiny white or a red or an orange. It's got to be loud. So I feel like you haven't perfectly assimilated yet.
You need to look like you walked out of the Fast and Furious.
I'll work on. I'm also outrageously white currently, and it's alarming, and I need to work on it. I planned a pool day last week, but then something came up. I got to do something about it. I'm reflecting the sun here. It's bad.
What's your Miami social life looking like a couple weeks in?
Oh, I don't do anything. I just work. I don't know. I do exactly what I did in New York. I just I go to Pole Wax, as my theoretical job.
Sure.
And then I get home and I work on music for 8 hours until I go to sleep. And then that's really it. So I've been out.
It's no one time. White.
Yeah. I mean, this is why, there's sun in New York. I haven't seen it, but it's, I do the same thing I was doing in New York, but now I'm just in Miami, which is cooler. In case I wanted to do something, things are there for me. I just don't do anything.
You know what's interesting? Breaking news. I'm flying down to South Florida tomorrow, staying on Las Olas. So me and Thorpe will be, I don't know, maybe tanning or burning together on the strip, if you will. But it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna get to hang out with Thorpe.
How far apart will you guys be? Or are you right there?
Yeah, he's probably 10 minutes from me.
Hell yeah!
In Hallandale.
It'd be hilarious if you guys didn't see each other, though.
Oh no, we'll hang out. Yeah. That's not a thing. I'll be working for a couple of days, but even the work days, I'd be able to probably get away a little bit. But over the weekend, I don't think I have much obligation. I'm going to be there from tomorrow through Sunday night.
Would you like to golf Saturday?
I mean, maybe. I don't think you want to golf with me.
I know you keep saying that.
I really don't think you want to golf with me.
I want to golf with anybody, dude. I just want to
That's
golf.
true.
You wouldn't want to golf with me.
No,
Real
bad.
Not even like real bad. Like real bad would imply I go out enough to be bad. I've been out like 3 times in my entire life. Like I don't even register as bad. I'm below that somewhere.
You know what we can do? We just go out, watch the World Cup or something. Get blackout drunk together. It'd be fun.
Yeah, but then I'll have to bet on it. Let's go somewhere where golf is playing too, so we got 2 tournaments to sweat this week, Thorb.
I know, and we're group betting it, which is fun. I'm excited for that.
I am gonna. I mean, you can give out your picks now if you want. Just know that at some point, I won't be listening at all. So I will hit you up on the group thread and ask you for your first round leader plays and your finishing position plays, your make the cut plays. Maybe your outrights if I want to get crazy, but really I'm looking to be a little more conservative. And I know you're both going to have plays.
You're going to want to hop on all the outrights because this will be the first time that me and Sia have collectively the same outrights for 2 different tournaments.
Yeah, we're going to have
going to be electric.
The same exact card.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, tell me
more. We're going to be together. And then imagine Sunday, we have 2 sweats at thousands of dollars.
I mean, literally.
Yeah.
So just to let the cat out of the bag a little bit, there's the Scottish Open, and by the way, Adam, I don't know, your connection is a little off. You're like skipping around a little bit, but we can hear you just fine. I just want you to know in case you're like accidentally on the Wi-Fi.
You do every stream, but I'll
he does?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I don't think that's true. I mean, now I see it. I don't think that happens every stream.
No, I don't think it does either.
Everyone.
I think Thorpe's making that up to make you feel bad, Adam.
Maybe I need to go full ventriloquism, and then I just don't even need to move.
So for the Scottish Open, it's the most conservative card, yet the most I'll have out there because I bet less than a unit on my outrights collectively. But because I'm taking 2 short guys, and because Thorb and I discussed this yesterday, we're taking 2 short guys, I'm going to have to put a little bit more out there to get like 7 or 8x on my money. We're taking Rory McIlroy at 10-1.
Okay.
And then we're taking Matt Fitzpatrick. But we're doing something with a little twist. We're doing Matt Fitzpatrick in the without Scotty market at 19-1. And the reason for that is Fitzpatrick was 22-1. Now he's 21.5-1. I think he's 21-1 over at DK, and it's a lot shorter at other places. In the without Scotty market, it moves it from 21 to 19. And we don't think that's a big enough difference to factor in Scotty. So we're doing it without Scotty, but not, the Roy is just a straight up play. And then the Matt Fitzpatrick at 19-1 is without Scotty, and that's the entire card. No long shots, no medium shots. We're fully leveraged because we have a 10-1 and a 19-1. You can't really bet any more than that without kind of looking like an idiot. So
yeah, it's fun because Sia never does anything like this. And
that's right.
And I'm forcing him into it. We had a long talk about it. I mean, it all checked out at the end of the day. It makes sense. It's good.
So for the record, for those listening that care, and these guys might factor in as first round leaders or in matchup plays or finishing position, but there are like 4 or 5 guys that I really did want to bet. And if I hadn't bet Rory, I'd bet all of these guys. Wyndham Clark, Chris Gotterup, Christopher Rayton, and there was one, Alex Fitzpatrick, Matt's brother. Those 4 I'm very interested in betting, but because of the way I've crafted the card, I'm gonna leave them off the outrights. And then Thorb also likes Marco Penge.
Yes, you know who I like is a sneaky one as well that I've been looking into. Victor Perez.
Oh, wow! Now you're just getting too cute here.
No. Victor Perez top 20. You got to check your normal people books to see what I can get a top 20 at, because I never know what's correct over here. It's
still grossly limited everywhere and doing your work on Polymarket?
Yeah, I'm doing all the weird ones. Kalshi, Polymarket, Novig. I'm doing a lot of work on.
Sure.
Do they have finishing position markets?
They do, but like I never know if they're good or not because like it's all about who's betting it, and like not many people are going to place bets on Victor Perez. So like I don't know where it's all based on liquidity and like who's betting what. So I don't know. It's confusing.
I may as well get the ISCO outrights out there too, because me and Thorb are betting all of those too. William Mao at 30. I'm going off memory here. I haven't even put these out officially yet, so this is like the first time I'm putting them out.
Scoops.
William Mao at 30-1. I hit him at 70-1 at the same tournament last year. So
Okay.
I have a little bit of
Back to the well.
I owe him a little bit to bet on him again. He's playing well. And then the rest are like extreme long shots. 70-1 David Skins, again going off memory. Tom Hoagie at 80-1. I have Harry
You told me you
Higgs.
didn't bet Skins, you liar.
Oh, I haven't bet him yet, but he's going to be on my card. Harry Higgs at 98-1, who I have bet. All the other ones I have bet. Paul Peterson, 115-1, have not bet that one yet. And then Troy Merritt at 140-1, I have bet that one. So that's the entire outright card for the ISCO.
All right,
so that
was I figure rather than do it over the thread and chase you guys down, take some notes as you guys go. But I missed a little bit along the way. So that was Rory outright, and then Matt Fitzpatrick without Scotty. Those are the two outrights.
That's right.
And then Clark and Goddard were on your mind anyway. Not vested, but on your mind. And then who were the other two that you mentioned there?
Alex Fitzpatrick, Christopher Rayton. That you're going to find them in like the 55 to 60 to range, 60-1 range. And then Thorb liked Marco Penge at like 80-1 or whatever it was, 90-1.
Who's so? I mean, I know you usually put out your graphic as we get a little closer to the tournament, but are you going to screw around with the first round leader market, or would you advise taking one of those guys that you mentioned? Where what do you like here in that regard?
The thing about that is I haven't confirmed what the weather is going to be like in the morning, but I do have some guys that I mentioned that are going out in the morning, which is probably going to be the optimal conditions. Okay. Those guys include Thorb's guy, Marco Penge, who I may or may not bet first round leader, but it's Thorb's guy. So mentioning him, Rory goes out in the morning. The number's going to be too short. Christopher Rayton and Chris Goddard go out in the morning. And I know Thorb likes Terrell Hatton. So if I had to pinpoint a few that I'm definitely going to bet, or probably going to bet, Rayton, probably Goddard, and maybe Kurt Kitayama. All morning, guys.
Okay.
And
again, taking notes.
The ISCO.
I'll text it all back to you.
The ISCO, Skins, Peterson, Hoagie, and David Lipsky. All morning tee times out in Kentucky.
All right.
There you go, everybody. That's the card. You all just won like $5,000.
Dude, at least.
Minimum.
Yeah.
I'm sending it back to you guys. It's a little incomplete, but most of it's there. Notes for all of us. Yeah. Listen, trying to just be the stenographer for the group here a little bit. See, I know you put out your these are the things that we should get into, and I want to get into some of that. But first, so this is just on my mind. How much are you Thorb, you're all messed up in terms of the way that you're betting right now because of obviously your move. But in a general sense, when you have wide availability across the regulated sports books, I've talked about this across the network plenty and with you guys, that I am a slave to the boosts. I love the boosts. It forces me to bet things that I would not normally bet. But whereas I don't want to dump on any books unless I get really upset. I'm not quite there yet. So I am just going to allude, and you can connect whatever dots you want to connect. But there is one book that offers a litany of boosts every single day. And I love that about them. I think that's wonderful. And my max have even gone up and up and up without me being a losing bettor. So they're trying to turn me into one if I feel so compelled into max betting. But what I don't like, what drives me crazy as it comes to MLB boosts, and I don't think either of you bets a whole lot of baseball, but
I bet a lot of baseball. I just don't put out a lot of official plays.
Well,
same.
Right,
a lot of baseball.
A lot. Parlays though, or a lot of straights?
Straights.
What was the first option?
A lot of parlays or a lot of straights?
Both.
Okay.
Like last night, I had two parlays going, money line parlays that closing with the Dodgers, which didn't end until 1:30 in the morning because the 6-1 lead ended up 7-7.
Yeah, I had the run line in that game. So yeah, believe me, I was paying attention to what was going on.
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. Was it the Dodgers you were just talking about?
Yeah.
I had the run line. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I had the money line, fortunately, but
I wish I had. Didn't.
I had the run line and the under 10 runs. All happened in the 9th inning. It was sweet. It was awesome.
Yeah, no, that was anyway, where I'm going with this is this particular book, like there are a lot of books you will get let's say a parlay boost on MLB, 30%, 25%, 50%, whatever the hell it is, doesn't matter. And it will just be a parlay boost. So you could do, like you're talking about, a money line parlay.
Sure.
This particular book And I don't really have a problem with like minimum 300 or 400, that kind of thing. But what it does require is SGPs or SGP pluses. It doesn't have to, it can't be a parlay. And I am finding it impossible lately to not lose on plays that I should win. Like right play, wrong result, parlay after parlay, because that leg that I'm choosing to make it an SGP is ultimately what is screwing me over. I'll give you an example today. So there are some favorites that I like today. Some very obvious chalky ones, but nevertheless some favorites that I like. For instance, a little bit later on, the Dodgers again. I like the, I don't love, but I like the Red Sox. Who else? The Marlins are certainly one that
I love the Marlins tonight.
There was another one. Oh, Phillies. Noted. Phillies are another one that I like quite a bit. Anyway, we have a doubleheader between Milwaukee and St. Louis today, and I love Milwaukee in this first game. And so I'm trying to build out this SGP or SGPX when I would have liked to have just done a parlay of the teams that I like. But nope, got to be the SGP. Got to have that leg. And so I decide to include Milwaukee in this first game with Mizorowski on the hill. First 5. If you're not following along with this game,
I am.
Milwaukee at the end of 5 was down 3-2, parlay dead. I knew instantly the second that died, before it even went to the bottom of the 5th, I said, Milwaukee's going to tie it in the 6th. Sure enough, that happened, and Milwaukee now leads 4-3. It's in the 8th inning. Mm-hmm. Milwaukee's going to win this game.
Yes.
And I'm going to lose my parlay because of a leg that I didn't want to include in the first place. My fault. Like, I obviously I should have picked a different leg. And one thing I almost never do, I bet first 5s all the time. I almost never bet first 7s. It is not a market that I play around with. Revisionist history being what it is, I'm kind of wishing I had done first 7 simply because the logic of wanting the full game and not the first 5 to begin with was I want more of the game. I don't want to handicap myself to the first half of the game. So if I had done a first 7 and a full, then great. I at least I would have, been live to potentially cash the thing. So as Japan in the chat says, Adam, stop crying. I will stop crying by asking you guys, when you see it, I guess more so, when you find yourself in this position to where you have to do an SGPX or an SGP, what are you doing? Are you doing maybe the other team to score? Are you doing alternate K prop? Or like what are you doing that I am clearly doing wrong?
Well, I'm not necessarily winning these parlays. I mean, the reason why I don't put the parlays out is because we all know that parlays are losing bets, and we know that the sportsbook's inducing us to add a leg or two that ultimately one of those is going to fail, and then that $20 that you spent on a little meaningless parlay ends up adding up, and all of those things. So I don't think they're a good idea, but there are things that I'm doing which wouldn't have worked in this Milwaukee game, by the way. And for the record, I think first 7 would have made sense. I always look at first 5 too. But with Mizorowski on the mound, first 7 would have made sense because you would have figured Mizorowski would go maybe deeper into the game because he's just so dominant. And that's the whole reason I take first 5 is because I don't want to worry about the bullpen. But if we think the pitcher is dominant, is going to go 6 or 7 innings, then we can kind of like factor in a couple of extra innings for the Milwaukee hitters with Mizorowski on the mound. With that said, one of my things that I do is I'll take the money line on the full game, and then I'll add in like the first 5 and the first 7, and it's not going to, they're all correlated. It's not going to tick up a ton, but like it'll tick up enough maybe to get you to that plus 300 level that the book is requiring you to get, so that I'll have like maybe 2 games, but one of the games I'm betting the first 5, 7, and 9 just to get it over that threshold.
Yeah, and that's basically what I did today. And again, it's maybe it loses down the line. It already lost anyway, but maybe it would have lost is my point. But I took the Dodgers, the Phillies, and this game 1 of the Brewers. And to get to the plus 300, I did full game and first 5 for all 3 of those games. And for it to die on the very first leg is just infuriating.
You could also do alternate team totals. Like if you if it's 4.5, you take it down to 3.5, and it's that might get you there as well.
Yeah.
Stop betting parlays.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Well, that is the thing. But listen, I as you guys both do, or at least Thorb does. I don't know if Sia does. My stuff is tracked on Picket, and it's all my accounts are linked, and I can see that I am a profitable parlay bettor. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not like it's been a losing proposition, but when it loses, it is annoying as hell.
Yeah. I don't think I bet a parlay in months.
Interesting.
Really?
And he has been a winning bettor.
You don't do like golfer finishing position parlays or anything like that?
No, I haven't even tried. Well, I don't even know if I can anymore.
You can't.
Like the weird. I think I can. There's like combo bets on these weird books. I don't know. They just make up weird different names for all the shit that's illegal.
It's not a sports book.
Yeah, not a sports book though. Yeah, combo bets. Yeah, I don't even consider it. It's so much easier to win one bet than 3 at a time.
Also, I think the difference too is Thorb is more willing to put down a lot of money on a straight bet than you or me are, Adam. Like I'm not willing, for the most part, I'm not willing to put $500, $1,000 on a bet. Whereas Thorb, if he's doing that, which I know he has done, he's getting $800, $900 back on a straight bet, which we would love from a parlay, Adam. So he's just willing to risk more. We're kind of teetering on fun money here.
No, to your point, like I bet in volume, I will bet, in totality, hundreds, if not into the thousands of dollars every day. But it's very rare that I am betting more than, let's say, $200 on a straight.
Right.
Whereas Thorb is always betting at least $200 on a straight.
And on an outright.
Which
he has on Fitzpatrick.
I have 400 on Rory too.
You animal.
Honestly, that changed everything for me because now I feel no need for a parlay, which I think has really helped me because I used to do them all the time and they're horrible. The only thing that could really get me on parlays now is if I see a boost and it's based on a parlay, I'm never going to take the boost. I don't care what it is. But except the only one that gets me is NFL because I can't help it. And I feel like I know so much about NFL, even though, I don't. Yeah, I just think I do. You
can know without knowing the future. I mean, those are two different things.
Yeah, but I feel like I know enough to the point where I can get these 3 legs, So NFL gets me, but other than that, if I see there's a reason all of the boosts that are offered are parlay boost. They're not just like, here's take a 25% straight bet. They're never going to do that because it's just that's how you should bet. And they'll give you whatever parlay boost you want.
Right. They will give you a straight boost, but it's mixed in among 10 other 3+ SGP boosts. So they almost give you the straight stuff to make you look there, make sure you look there, and they know you're going to be induced by the 3+ leg plus 300 or better situation. Like Thorb, remember we were doing these together as well. If you're up by 2 in MLB, you cash the bet.
Yeah, the early payout.
I like those. Yeah.
Those are great. And for the record, I'm limited to $10 on those before, where it was at least $100. And I don't think I was even that good at them. I just think they just changed their mind on how much you can bet.
Yeah, we were both at 100 for those when I was texting you about them. And then now I don't have it anymore, but those were fun for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, I know it's not a human on the other side doing this. It's just the algorithm and usage and all that stuff. But what's weird to me, even still, is anytime that I go on vacation and I go to a place, be it, internationally or even just to a state where a certain book isn't available. When I go to a place that I can't use a specific book, all of my Boost Max offerings are different when I come back. Like I went to the Virgin Islands last year for a week, and so I couldn't use FanDuel for a week. And my Boost Maxes when I went away were $200. And I came home and I log into the book and claim this, what's my max? And it was down to $10. It just totally reset after not using the book for a week for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Just because
that's happened to me. I don't know how many times for various books.
Big Cheesy saying the Miz is at 11 or had 11 plus Ks plus 239. Big Cheesy is super sharp. Bet that. Can somebody tell me Do we have because there was a bet early on an earlier show, Miz to record the win. He is still eligible to record the win because they got that fourth run in the 7th, I think.
I will tell you.
He is, says
yeah, he pitched 7, and yeah. Although, I mean, Ashby's in right now, and they've got, granted there were 2 outs, but St. Louis does have a runner on.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
I'm in on the Marlins.
Yes, as of right now, if it ended, Mizorowski would get the win.
Marlins, yeah. So Thorpe said he's in on the Marlins. I really like the Marlins.
I like the Marlins a lot today.
It's going to be like the most public bet ever, so that's a worry. But
Japan asked in the chat, by the way, if I ever bet double headers, and so I have multiple feelings about this. The kind of quick version is that, as a general, I think statistically, without going back too many years, but in what I have dug up in recent years, I think statistically, generally speaking, teams split doubleheaders. It is rare that a team wins both ends of a doubleheader, even though we have seen that a couple times so far this year, and mostly splits. That said, I tend to defer to my own individual system, which, assuming Milwaukee wins this game, that will be 3 straight wins. And that automatically puts me on the Brewers in this second game today, even though I believe that the Cardinals will probably win that game. All that said, though, it's 1st and 3rd now. So maybe St. Louis will wind up coming back, and I won't have to bet the second game.
Interesting.
I know what you're thinking. You don't have to, Adam, but I do. But I do.
So we got golf bets out of the way. We got some MLB bets that we're on later. Should we go to my wish list? I know Thorpe has to leave early. Should we go?
I was going to ask that. Thorpe, are you checking out soon?
Yeah, I'll give you like 5 more minutes. I also, by the way, I'm addicted to first goal scorer bets in the World Cup.
Oh God, love those.
Addicted.
Love those.
Hit a big one the other day. Missed all the other ones, but hit a big one.
Who'd you hit? Was it? Wait, let me guess. It was either. Okay. I mean, it's been the best guys. So it was either Mbappe or it was Messi or it was Haaland. No. I bet it was.
Well, I've been taking all the not best guys because I'm like, that's way too fucking obvious. You know what I mean? And then that hasn't been working at all. But then it finally worked. It finally worked. So now, do you have a guess? Now it's not one of the best guys. I mean, he's very good, but he's not the best.
I don't have a guess. Who was it?
It was Jude Bellingham.
Bellingham.
It was, dude. It was like 100 to win like 1,300. I was like, this is
good
fun,
for you,
dude. This is fun.
That's awesome.
Take over and Embiid loves it. He guessed it right. Boom.
Oh shit! Nice
work. Yeah, Bellingham had 2 in that one.
I know. Should have had that. Yeah, I Pulisic. Too bad he sucks ass. But I was in on him last night. He stinks. He stinks real bad. He looked bad. I knew he looked bad when I watched the last game, and I was like, "Fuck it." I'm not just gonna bet the guy everyone's betting. You know what I mean? So let me get on a little Pulisic. 1 goal, 2 goal, U.S. win. No, we got killed. It was bad. Real bad.
Yeah. I had been on a nice run, and I had a bad day yesterday because I let country pride take over me. I got a little too invested in the U.S.
You got it, man. Yeah, I'm not even mad about it. Because how cool would it have been if they, Pulisic scored, U.S. wins? It would have been fun. It would have been good.
I mean, I'll tell you this: I'm not happy they're out, but I am happy they can stop costing me money.
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, they were probably winning you money at first, but
they were. Yeah, I mean, I'm having a profitable World Cup overall, but these last couple of days I've gotten a little reckless.
Yeah, I was really good at betting the games, and then I started doing this whole goal scorer thing. But
you're locked in.
It's not as good, but it's boy, it's fun. It's fun. I'm so in on Lamine Yamal. He's so due. He's God, I'm gonna be so invested in him in the next game.
Do you have anything in this currently scoreless Colombia-Switzerland game?
No. What are the odds? Because I like Colombia, but
I actually like Switzerland. I mean, I didn't bet it. I opted to bet the game a little differently. I did both teams to score, but between the two, I do like Switzerland. I feel like most people are on Colombia.
Yeah, probably.
I like Colombia,
I
but
really
I
wanted Egypt to win. That would have been so fun.
That would not have been fun.
I feel bad for them.
I had a parlay that included Spain getting to the quarterfinal, so I I needed that. Now Argentina and Spain was the parlay. So I needed Argentina to come back and win. That was a miraculous win. I had a Messi goal like everybody else in the world. So that came through.
I know. I feel like people are getting so lucky with these. Messi's going to score. Yeah. It's so fucking dumb. It's pissing me off so much.
Scored early on the PK.
I'm seeing everyone's parlays all like Messi, Mbappe, fucking parlay. I'm like, how are you hitting that? That's so stupid.
The chalk was hitting at an insane rate in the group stage for sure.
It's perfect though to recruit long-term soccer bettors because they're like, oh, this is easy. I just like pick out the best guy and I bet both teams to score plus goal score and I'm going to win money. So it's actually like the chalky thing during the popular event is like so good for the sports books long-term or just sports betting long-term. Frankly,
you'll be happy to know the Brewers got out of it. So they are up 4-3, top 9.
Yeah, I just saw that.
So predictable. It's crazy.
If you're up 2-0,
yes,
I know it was Egypt versus Argentina, and Argentina is way better. But if you're up 2-0 and there's like 20 minutes left in a soccer game, let's call it with extra time. Let's call it with extra time, like 25 minutes. What's the equivalent of that in the NFL game? Like, how many points is a team up to feel the same way you'd feel if you're up 2-0 with 25?
How much time left in the NFL game?
Well, so let's say it's like towards the end of the third quarter.
Okay.
What's the score that would be the equivalent of a soccer 2-0?
With how much time? Sorry, how much time left in the soccer game?
25 minutes. I think 17 is the right answer.
Yeah, that's about right. I think I was going to say 14-ish, so 14, 17, sure. Japan says 10-14. That's not enough.
It's not 10.
It's not 10.
10's easy.
10, yeah, 10 you can take care of real fast. But 14, 17, I mean, we just saw, I can't remember who it was, but it was 3 days ago or something. There was another one of those. Maybe it was a Senegal match where it was 2-0 real late, and they came back and made it 2-2 and forced extra time. I think it was the Senegal game. But yeah. I mean, it's incredibly impressive. It was a fun watch for sure. I got screwed because I had Argentina -1.5, and I had lost. I mean, it was 2-0. I had lost all hope. As soon as Egypt scored that second goal, I was certain it was dead. But then to come back and go up 3-2 and actually maybe have those 5-6 minutes in stoppage time, I got ahead of myself again. Of course, it didn't happen.
For the record, you did not get screwed. You just lost a bet.
True.
Yes. Fair.
Theoretically, almost got lucky.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You almost got lucky, but you lost a bet.
Yeah. That Mexico game.
Screwed myself. Sick. How about that? Is that better?
Mexico-England game was fucking sick. Yeah.
I
really only started watching in the 30, once we got down to 32. Like, group stages does nothing for me. But like this shit's nice. I'm going to actually try to watch these.
I mean, it is fun that, like, respect to Egypt, even though this is going to sound disrespectful, it is nice that they're more or less taking out the trash here in the round of 16. So, like, we're going to have some insane matchups coming up here.
Yeah. The only bet I had, do you guys have anyone to win at all? The only one I have is Spain from the beginning, which I thought they looked like shit in the group stage, so I thought they were dead, but they look.
What's your number on that?
I don't know. It wasn't that good.
Like 10-1 or something?
No. They opened at like 5.5 or something, and they might still be that now. Like,
yeah, they're like plus 340 now. I think I looked this morning.
Yeah.
I've got 3 or 4 small ones that I just threw bonus bets on at the beginning of the tournament, but the one that I like had a real investment on, which is dead now, was Portugal, just because I like the number. It was like 10-1, but doesn't matter. All right, Thorb, you got to go.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Thorb, I'll see you. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Maybe I'll just stop by Pull Wax and say what's up to you guys tomorrow.
Not gonna be at Pull Wax tomorrow, but
but stop by.
Yeah, stop by. You know what I mean? I'll be there the entirety of like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So, but maybe I'll switch some things around if you want to do some. You want to get weird, do some stuff. You know what I mean?
You guys gonna do like take each other to work? Like, is he gonna go to Pull Wax? Thorb's gonna go to CBS?
He didn't invite me to CBS.
Yeah, I haven't.
Yeah.
Security's pretty tight there. Like, you can't just have somebody like, if you wanted like your family member to swing by, like you gotta jump through some hoops there. It's like
not worth it.
Pretty closed off.
Especially if he walks in looking like that.
Yeah, they'll kick me out. Yeah.
He'll be doing recaps for CBS before you know it.
Yeah, for
It's
real.
probably true, right? Yeah, should happen. Should happen. My Jamie. All right, guys. I'll see you later and shit. Okay.
Yeah,
Or
have
behave
fun
yourself.
opening cards and filming it or whatever your job is.
Yeah. Thank you.
Said that like it was some sort of a slight. I'm so jealous. I would love to just sit around and open
Totally
and film it. That sounds like the best life. All right, bye, Thorb. Are we supposed to take him off? All right, bye, Thorb. He's just gonna keep doing it.
So Thorb does card breaks. So Big Cheesy, yeah, he does. As of, I think today is like his first like actual
Has he actually
action with
started
Poleax.
doing card breaks?
I don't think he's like officially done it like on camera yet.
Got it.
For like an audience. I think today or tonight might be his first one, or maybe it's tomorrow. But if you follow Poleax, you might actually see him on their live IG or whatever it is. So Adam, let's switch gears to the NBA.
Oh, okay. I thought we were going to talk TV shows. Let's go NBA.
Well, we could. We'll get to TV shows. So just so everybody knows, in the chat, if you're watching on Twitter, by the way, there is a chat for Twitter, particularly if you're on like an iPhone. I think on an iPad, like it doesn't have that functionality. But so you can respond on Twitter or Twitch, of course, or on the BNN YouTube channel. Name an overrated sitcom. And this is a safe space. You can name a super popular show if you want. And that's what overrated would mean, right? It would have to be somewhat popular. Put in the chat an overrated sitcom, because Adam, I'm going to hit you with some surprises later on in the show. Speaking of surprises, okay. I was going to ask Thorb what he felt about the Jaylen Brown trade, because I think it helps the Knicks to allegedly water down the Boston Celtics. So I look at that trade, the Paul George side of it, the picks, and I'm like, gosh, that seems weird. But before, and I wasn't going to be like critical on social media, because I'm not like, I give NBA opinions, but I'm not like some NBA insider. Like nobody cares about my opinion, certainly in the offseason about the Celtics. With that said, my first thought was, what are they doing? And my second thought was,
like everybody else.
Brad Stevens is smarter than everybody else, including me. So I'm trying to reconcile whether I'm just giving Brad Stevens too much credit, like a lot of people do with like Pat Riley and the Miami Heat, or if he's got this thing figured out.
So to your point, the reaction when the deal was made, everyone universally, Celtics fans, national media, you name it, was, sorry, what? Jaylen Brown for what? And, right. Paul George and a collection of picks, including a couple of first rounders, which, they are excited depending on how the ping pong balls bounce in 2028 and 2031. We'll skip the permutations to which those could be valuable, but they could in theory be valuable. But still people look at it and it's Jaylen Brown for Paul George, two guys making basically the same money, not overall contracts, but annually. And make this make sense, because you got a guy coming off an MVP caliber year, first team All NBA caliber year, perennial All-Star, 30 years old, prime of his career, and Paul George, who, looked good, really good against the Celtics in the playoffs, outplayed Jaylen Brown in that series, but is at the end of the line. He's 36, almost 37. He's, can't stay healthy. He's in and out of the lineup. He's, played 70 games once in the last half dozen years. He's not someone that you can rely upon. He's not someone that can carry you if and when Jason Tatum miss any amount of time, game to game. And so it was, what in the world is Brad doing? To your point about the second point with Brad and just being a smart guy and a guy who has been a very successful team builder since ascending to this role and replacing Danny Ainge, there is an element, I'll tell you, Celtics fans, and I don't know what the split is, but Celtics fans are divided between, in Brad we trust, like let's look at the track record and the totality of the work. This guy didn't just become an idiot overnight and doesn't know what he's doing and doesn't know how to assess basketball, and then the flip side is Brad needs to be fired. This is outrageous. He's costing Jason Tatum right in the thick of his prime years an opportunity to contend for maybe multiple seasons, and they're rebuilding and they're resetting. So what I love about Brad, and I don't think this is something that is shared by everyone in his position across the league, I think he's a little bit of an outlier, is that he's generally, when meeting with the media, a straight shooter and doesn't give you a whole lot of the fluff. And if you really pay attention to what he's saying, you can get the breadcrumbs as to the truth behind certain decisions. I mean, hell, and this is multiple years this has happened before the trade. He, you know, right after the season ended, he was asked about the team's priorities, and, you know, most guys, oh, we need to be better and blah, blah, blah. You know, he was like, no, we need rim protection. We need a presence in the inside. We need more defense among our bigs. We need more of a pure point guard and a veteran addition that can help handle the rock. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, the language, but they go out and they do just that. They had Mitchell Robinson, Mike Conley. So you can decide what you feel about those two guys, but they addressed specifically those needs that they were talking about.
Mike Conley's like 50 years old.
Mike
Mitchell Robinson doesn't exactly give you 30 minutes a game, but fair enough. Okay, go on.
And doesn't need to. Doesn't in the way they're going to use him. He just needs to be part of a tandem with Keita, and they will improve. I mean, you could make the case, and we won't do this whole, like, turn this into, you know, a Celtics show, but if you put rosters side by side, you could make the case that on paper, the Celtics have a better team right now entering next year. And I think there will still be another move or two to come with some of the remaining money they have, mid-level exception, that type of thing. But you can make the case they are a better team than they were last year, even though that team overachieved, won 56 games, just generally worked harder than everybody else. And that's a compliment, but that is generally what uplifted them and contributed to the success. When it comes to Brad, though, and this, what he told everybody in meeting with the media yesterday, he talked for 40 minutes, but the most important thing that he said was, in this era of team building and the CBA as it currently exists, it just does not make sense to have two guys with the level of usage that both Tatum and Brown command making 70% of your salary cap. It is not a good way to build, to have two guys on super max contracts. Now,
but isn't the flip side of that he gets it, just like Pat Riley does with some of his guys, or I should say Spoelstra, that the Celtics get so much out of players that, like, nobody really knows about, that you could have some of these guys that are, like, basically not getting paid that just shine in the Celtics system. Sure,
absolutely. I mean, depth wherever is important. You know, we saw it with the Knicks, we saw it with the Thunder, we've seen it with, you know, a bunch of teams across the league, that you need to be getting contributions out of your, let's call it 5 through 8, 9, versus obviously being top heavy. And I think the Celtics, whereas they were obviously interested in Giannis Antetokounmpo and could have justified giving him that contract because he's another top 5 caliber player in the NBA, they don't view Jaylen Brown that way. And the league, based on the return, it is immensely clear, does not view Jaylen Brown that way. Jaylen Brown is a very good basketball player. He is a perennial all-star. He is not a superstar. He is a guy that can be a number one on a, you know, average team, a little bit above average team, but is not ultimately worth the money that he is being paid for what he gives you on the floor, which many of the advanced analytics will say is, in terms of on-off splits, occasionally a net negative, as he was in the postseason. And so that, I think, is what the front office very controversially in Boston decided. And Brad Stevens said multiple times, look, this is the decision we made. We may be wrong, but we feel it's the way that we had to go. And so we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But yeah, I'm fascinated. I think it's the most interesting trade that's been made in the NBA since obviously the Luka deal.
Switching gears, we'll keep this answer short, because I wanted to get to the sitcom thing. We have Josh Lecter and Gator fan chiming in with the overrated sitcoms.
Oh boy,
where does LeBron end up?
Not Boston, because that keeps getting talked about. That's not happening. Even though the Celtics are on the Rich Paul whiteboard among those 10 teams that were there, people have mentioned the Sixers. Like, that's, Kendrick Perkins gone on and on about the Sixers. I don't think that's going to happen. The Knicks are not in the running after winning the championship. I would say it is the home, the homecoming and closing the door on Cleveland on a third tenure there. I think the Cavs are very live. I don't think Miami, I don't think he goes back there. I'm skeptical about the Warriors thing that's been talked about a lot. Obviously, he's not going back to the Lakers. I mean, it feels like the Cavs just feel like the front runner. And I don't have next team LeBron odds up in front of me or anything like that to tell you, who is ultimately the favorite. But that if he is willing to take less and make the money work, that feels like the spot. It's a good team in a wide open conference that obviously could use him. There's the sentimentality and narrative behind all of it as well. The city, even though he's left them twice already, could not be more excited if he makes that decision. Everyone would be thrilled. That's what I think. But what about you? Where do you think he wants?
I think it's Golden State. I think Cavs would be second, and I think the Heat would be third. And I do think there's a benefit to going to the Eastern Conference for obvious reasons. Because even if he goes to Golden State, as old as they are, they're still probably not better. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they are, but I don't think they're better than San Antonio or OKC. But if he joins a decent team in the East, Giannis and Bam or the Cavaliers, you can make the argument that he's making that team. I know he's not like super great anymore, but he's making that team or turning that team into like a clear top 2, top 3 team.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's at the last end of your career when you've been playing 20 plus years, if you can navigate that and like almost like without injury, guarantee yourself like a conference finals appearance or at least something close to that, I think that's how you probably want to end your career, especially if it's at home or at a place where you've won more than one championship in Miami.
Far more interesting to me is whichever team signs LeBron, will that team also trade for Bronny?
Yeah. I don't think so. I think the answer to that is no. I think Bronny's going to look bad, and I think LeBron knows this too, if he just follows his daddy around. I feel like he's tried to prove himself for a year or so. I think he's got to just like go out and try to prove himself again. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But he's had the training wheels on for a couple of years, and that's good for his dad for like doing that for him.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, you got to be like, all right, dude, it's either going to work or it's not. And hopefully it works because I've got my name behind you. But if it doesn't work, it's just because it's just not going to work.
Lakers sure as hell don't want him though.
You're probably right about that. You're probably right about that.
Let's talk TV shows.
So I mentioned that the show Community was a top 5 sitcom all time. And I do think I'm like probably exaggerating a little bit, but I do like, for me, it's a top 5 sitcom all time, but I would understand somebody being like, it's like not even close. And so somebody, I think it was my friend Eric, who was a fan of this show, was like, I think you're being hyperbolic, like, and then there were other people that were listing shows that were like clearly in the top 5 and actually the top 10, and Community is nowhere near that.
I think Community, being hyperbolic is if you say like a show that's on right now that's in season 2 is the greatest, blah, blah, blah. Like Community has been off the air long enough that I think you can just have an opinion about Community. And I haven't really thought about what my top 5 looks like, but I would be surprised if Community is not a part of it. I share in your love for Community, and I'm eagerly awaiting the movie, by the way.
The problem, do you think that's actually going to happen? Because I keep hearing about it.
I absolutely do.
Okay. Well, the problem with Community is I think it was seen as like niche for some reason, or maybe it didn't hit at a time where like people who were big fans of sitcoms, like back in the day, like the Seinfelds and Friends, like I think maybe those people were, I don't know, of a certain age, like not to our age, by the way, but like not to appreciate or like delve into Community. I just don't think it was like promoted like enough maybe. With all that said, I think what we're doing when we're rating sitcoms, and I did a whole sitcom bracket with Pat Mayo, and so I'm guilty of this as well.
That was my first exposure to you. I'm still upset I wasn't part of that, actually.
And by the way, that is evergreen. Like there's nothing about all of those. We did like 5 or 6 shows, and they're all in podcast form. All you got to do is search sitcom bracket Pat Mayo in Apple or whatever, Spotify probably, and you'll find them. And I can send people the bracket, all that stuff. It's actually like really good listening, like consumption. With all that said, I think we pay homage to the older sitcoms because we remember where we were when we were watching them. Mm-hmm. But the context that's not layered on top of that is that those sitcoms were in an era where there really weren't sitcoms on cable. There was barely cable. Mm-hmm. Like everybody was dialed into the main 4 channels, whether it was NBC or Fox or ABC or CBS. Sure. And that's where all the sitcoms for the most part were. So we're reflecting on those times, not appreciating the fact that the shows that have been over the last 20, 25 years didn't get that benefit. And so what my point is even if like the Seinfeld humor or the Friends camaraderie and humor, even if that is like really good, how good would it be? Even if we like made the comedy like we made it so it translated to like comedy today. How good and how popular would it be if it aired in like 2011 or 2005 or even 2020? Like, I don't think we would like it as much as we think.
I think there's so many things at play that come with eras of television and age, obviously, of the people consuming it, not just offerings and whether or not you watch something that is only available on a streaming service. Oh, wait, you don't subscribe, so therefore you haven't seen it, that kind of thing. There's the element of, you go back and like you said, it was, the main 4 stations, even before Fox, obviously the main, 2-3 stations. And then that was an era where like laugh tracks were acceptable. Like people have no tolerance today for laugh tracks. It's almost when it's offered, it's done ironically. Language has gotten stronger or more acceptable, or, depending on the outlet, it is a main part of the show, cursing and being a little more vulgar. People now, younger people have no tolerance for commercials at all, which is why, you'll watch certain things on streaming services that don't have them. So I think just over time, like we used to, I think evaluate shows. I mean, I'll speak for me, I guess, but I think you're probably similar. We used to evaluate shows not only based on, like who's in it and is it a good cast? Is it funny? All that. It was like, how sharp is the writing? How clever is it? It's why like people have such a renowned affection for, Arrested Development. The first couple seasons of Arrested Development, it's some of the smartest comedic writing that you could ever come across. I know that you would put out the opinion on Twitter that offended some people with the Key and Peele versus Chappelle show. Like Chappelle show was perfect for its time and was so bold and smart and creative and important and short-lived because obviously, he decided to go to Africa and quit doing it and all of these things. Key and Peele ran a little bit longer, but it was their tandem in, graduating from Mad TV as an alternative to SNL and doing things that were, pushing the envelope even more and more creative and just different and has more long-lasting, rewatchable appeal and all of this stuff that, man, it's such to me a fascinating conversation of what, what people really enjoy versus what they don't, and ranking these things or saying what's overrated. Like for me, and I'll stop talking, but like Seinfeld, yeah, I watched it like anybody else my age, but Seinfeld, incredibly overrated in my mind. Like I think that if I'm talking about the exact same genre and many of the same people, like I think Curb Your Enthusiasm is a better show than Seinfeld ever was. That's just my opinion, but I know a lot of people out there would think that's insane.
But the thing is if they actually thought about it, I don't think they would think it's insane. I think we can't help but pay homage to the shows that like brought us up, that made us feel a certain way when we were little. And again, you have to like contextualize where Seinfeld, I mean, talk about it had to be a good show in its time, of course, but it was just like some of these shows were in the perfect spot. And these days you don't have show like Community, for example, or even Key and Peele, they weren't in the perfect spot in the sense that there were only like 3 or 4 or 5 channels that people were watching. And, you kind of force fed like this at 8 o'clock on whatever night it was. I do think Key and Peele's funnier than Dave Chappelle. I understand why people think that's incorrect, but I also think that like a lot of people that were responding to me were like, well, Key and Peele would be nothing without Dave Chappelle. Yeah, I agree. But that's not what that's not the argument I'm making. I'm not saying that Key and Peele is foundational to sketch comedy. I'm just saying that especially if I'm going to go back and watch, like, don't get me wrong, I laugh at the Chappelle stuff too, but I would be more, I guess like I would be more prone to going back and watching Key and Peele than I would Chappelle. And part of the reason is I think some of these Key and Peele skits are just so wildly twisted they lean into the funny and then they go like a completely different direction. I just think there's like a certain cleverness with that. But anyway, I get why people don't like the Seinfeld comment you made, which I agree with, and the Chappelle versus Key and Peele thing that I mentioned on Twitter yesterday.
So have you thought about what your top 5 sitcoms are?
No, I mean, so off the top of my head, Frasier's always going to be one. And if we're going to talk about sitcoms from that time, you want to talk about rewatchability and going back and seeing if some of the comedy and some of the interplay translate. Frasier versus Seinfeld, it's not a close call. I understand people are emboldened by the whole Seinfeld thing, but I'll go back and watch a Frasier episode. Not that I've done that recently, but the rewatchability on Frasier is awesome. And it's not just comedy. There's like some psychology and just like, I think, brilliant acting in that show. So that would be number one. Family Guy's in the top 5.
Just real quick, just because I'm thinking about Frasier now, you probably have never even heard of this show, but I want you to, I don't know, YouTube or something, like find it. Have you ever seen the show The Powers That Be?
No, never heard of it.
It ran for a season, maybe 2. Incredible cast, including David Hyde Pierce, which is what you got me thinking about it because of Frasier. And it definitely is dated. Like it I don't think it would work now, but and it was on, God, at this point, 2 decades ago, easily, maybe 25 years ago. But it's so effing funny. It's so funny.
David Hyde Pierce is an amazing actor.
He's
like
just
an amazing actor.
Not unlike on Frasier, he is just the perfect straight man on this show. And it's a political show, a satire of like it takes place in DC, so your backyard, and it's politics and families behind politicians, and it's so funny. I beg of you to try and find it somewhere.
So I know we got to get out of here in a minute, as I see we got Beast McNeese, Beast, and I see PJ Glasser down here, which is so cool. PJ's awesome. So I know we got a show coming up in a minute, but I don't have a top 5 off the top of my head, but I will give you Frasier, Family Guy, and Community as 3 of the top 5. And I'm sure I'm forgetting like some easy ones, but I'll round out the list. How I Met Your Mother might be inside that top 5 too, but I'll have to round out the list next week. Maybe some of the listeners can let us know what their list is. Tag Your Betting News, tag one of us, whatever it is. Let us know what your top 5 sitcoms are.
What, real quick before we leave, were the overrated sitcom submissions you got from people?
Well,
you said we got a few during the show.
Yeah, I only did it in the chat, and believe it or not, there was only a few that submitted, but it was Seinfeld and Friends. A lot of people think Friends is overrated, and it probably is. But again, perfect show for its time, came at the perfect time. Like, I can't hate on Friends, but obviously it's not exactly like highbrow comedy. It's a little overrated.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But it also knew what it was.
It wasn't incredible, but it's not a sitcom.
Which one?
Suits. Beast is in the chat.
Oh, Suits is not a sitcom.
No, not a sitcom at all, but a great show. One of my favorite shows, but not a sitcom.
Mike Miller with Mama's Family and Golden Girls. Mama's Family is such an obscure reference. I kind of love it. I met Mike last week in Chicago for an early Edge event. It's a super cool guy. He brought his son too, and his son is Caden, I think is his name. Really cool. Golden Girls is a great sitcom.
Golden Girls would be. I haven't watched that in so many years. I wonder how it holds up in 2026.
Better than people think, I would say. I'll just leave it at that.
Incredible.
But probably not great.
We're on the verge of overstaying our welcome if we haven't already. So we're going to go. Our thanks to Thorb, SPJ in the Shadows, for getting us on here. We appreciate him while Biz intern Alex is off doing who knows what. But Sia and I will be back with you at some point next week. We can promise you that. I mean, hell, every week's a little bit fluid. Sometimes it's Thursday, sometimes it's Tuesday, sometimes maybe even multiple times. Up next, but not really, Puckett. But actually, you can enjoy your, what do we have? Betspresso, All Sauce Team. I think it's Betspresso is on the way. Cash some bets, make some plays. Baseball's on the way. The Brewers probably won, which means bet the Cardinals tonight, even though I'm going to be on Milwaukee. And we'll see you later. See ya. Thanks, buddy.
See ya.
No plays off. Subscribe. Bye.
Don't touch the night, cheated by, traveling on the ring. Gonna make you fly, see you die, keep you better.
Votes are muted. Whoa. Still can't hear you. Nope, I have no idea what's going on. All right, chat, here we go. Here's your afternoon Betspresso impromptu little host session, I guess, from here until Goat can get his microphone. PJ, how you doing today? Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday to you, brother. I'm doing good. We got the second half of Colombia and Switzerland getting ready to start right now, so keeping an eye on. Dude, that Argentina game. Did you catch any of that today?
I did. I caught the entire thing front to back.
Holy smoke.
Oh, there you are. Look
There
at
he
that.
is.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we
Yes, we
got
can.
you.
Okay. That was
There
so
you go.
weird. I didn't change anything. Oh, whatever. Welcome to Betspresso. Thanks for filling in for a second, Sauce Man. Well done.
Yep.
That's the amount of hosting that V likes to do, chat, just so you guys know. That's literally the line. That's where it
Yeah,
stops.
the only other time you'll see me hosting is like when I'm on my part of the 24-hour stream. And I'm gonna be there. You know what I mean?
Oh, man. We'll get there. Appreciate you guys stopping by for another hour on the Betting News Network. Hope you guys enjoyed the last hour for No Plays Off. As these guys said, that's PJ Glasser. That's Sauce Man. I'm SPJ. Thanks for being here. Another hour. And PJ, yeah, dude, that Argentina game, absolute cinema. I mean, I feel bad for the Egyptians. What an incredible game they played, but messy, dude. Just, they got messy.
He's inevitable.
It's
inevitable.
really inevitable.
What's been your guys' favorite game of the tournament so far? Because I legitimately think I've said it like 5 or 6 times where I've gotten done watching a match and I've been like, that's the game of the tournament. And we get one like every other day. I still think England-Mexico's probably been my favorite.
Yeah.
Just because like at Azteca, the red cards, the penalties, the emotions, like that game truly had everything. So I'd still put that one. I mean, that Argentina-Cabo Verde game was pretty awesome too, just because of that David Goliath feel. Today with that comeback was unbelievable. But like there have been so many good ones. I still put England-Mexico towards the top. But what do you guys, what's been your one so far?
I think I'd agree with you, PJ. I would probably have to go with the chalky answer and go with that England-Mexico match. I was looking forward to that, obviously, because of the sort of storyline surrounding it, both about the altitude and the medication that Team England chose to, take. I just thought it was a fun-ass game, and it really lived up to the hype 3-2.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we didn't get Mexico really pressing the gas like we wanted to. I think in the late last part of that game, but this game today was just absolutely insane, front to back. That last goal too to take the lead. It's like 2-on-2, open field. Very rare that you get an opportunity like that late in the game. Just kind of open field, and it had that feeling for the last 5 minutes of this game, from about maybe the 86th minute, where both teams were just trying to attack, and both teams were leaving themselves vulnerable on both ends. We saw Egypt with a couple of chances late there too that really didn't kind of come to fruition. That one tackle by the Argentinian player where it was just him and it was just one-on-one, and he makes that last second tackle. Instead, Salah couldn't get the pass off. It's been electric, man. And the USA game was a great hate watch for me too. That was fantastic as somebody who had to watch Canada lose over the weekend. That wasn't fun. But I will say, it's insane to have seen this game today and watch Egypt put up a better fight against Argentina than both Canada and the U.S. did in their respective matchups against both lesser teams.
Yeah.
I think the biggest surprise for me, I mean, all of these knockout games have been incredible. Like every single one, except the United States game. I mean, I guess unless you're a Belgium fan, but like every single other game had, well, the Canadian games
3-0.
They were giving Morocco the business in the first half. The United States got drubbed that entire game, start to finish. I mean, it was just an embarrassing performance from the red, white, and blue yesterday. 4-1 losers against Belgium. And I tweeted it, man. If you believe in karma, I felt like that this was just going to be a massive karmic 2x4 if they lost this game yesterday. And unfortunately, last night they did. But yeah, that Argentina game to me, I mean, I think I said this after watching the Mexico-England game, that I haven't watched a game in all of internet, like not even international soccer, like even domestic league soccer, Champions League, etc., that was more exciting than that Mexico-England game and more like energy filled. Like I could feel the energy and the passion and the, like I had a fucking knots in my stomach from the Azteca, and I was, in Florida. Like you just felt the reverberating passion and everything in that game for the entire game. And I haven't felt that watching a soccer match, and I can't remember the last time. So that part of it to me was crazy.
Yeah.
Like he just blew the roof off of that place going back to back like that. I think it was within like almost 2-3 minutes of each other. He was just, I don't know, he set the place on fire. And to see that and then, Mexico battle back, crazy.
Like when people talk about like, like, oh, that was a gutsy win. That was a gritty win. Like we throw those terms out a lot. Like I feel like that's the definition, right? Like you could truly feel those England players, especially when they had to go down to 10 men, they just truly left it all on the line. Boys, I don't know. And I've said this on other shows this week. I don't know if there's a tougher place to win a road game in sports than at the Azteca. Like I can give you any sport, college football, college basketball, NBA, and whatever you want. You take whatever sport all over the world. I think winning a road game at the Azteca against Mexico is probably the hardest thing to do because the videos of people that were there, everybody said that's like the greatest sporting event they've ever attended. And I agree with you, SPJ. I'm sure everybody felt the way we did watching it. You could just feel it. I don't think it gets any tougher than that. So
I think before the game, it was like in their last 80 games there, they had 2 losses. Now in the last 81, they've got 3 losses in that stadium. And to be one of those 3 teams, bonkers.
Hadn't lost since 2013, win or drew in all international competitions as Mexico. I did see somebody tweet out that England basically went to LSU on a Saturday night and won one in the Bayou. I mean, that's my biggest, like, what is it? Death Valley? Isn't that what it's called?
Yep.
Like that feels like the only semi comparison. I mean, I guess people always talk about going to Mile High because the dealing with the altitude, etc. But like in this situation with what's on the line, and I mean, America has been talked about since yesterday because of not getting the job done, and once again not getting past the round of 16. A lot of teams have underperformed, but the English, if you date back some of their history as well, they've also kind of fallen flat in some of these big time games, and they've also fallen flat in the Azteca before as well. Obviously, Maradona's hand of God came in that stadium to the English fans as well. So for all of that to kind of be put aside, and Jude Bellingham to put up the performance that he did was just absolute cinema. So, but again, I literally was watching this Egypt game thinking to myself, is Messi really about to go out of this competition? Is France just going to have a cakewalk to the final now? And then, of course, they score 1 goal. As soon as Messi made that run right before they scored their first goal, he went through like 3 people and then chipped it to the front post, and the guy headed it and he just missed. Yeah. As soon as that happened, I was like, uh-oh. Because when Messi gets that type of look in his eye and gets that type of move going, especially even at the age of 39 now, like he's unstoppable. And then bang, 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 see you later. Also, that last ball for the 3rd goal was just watching that type of football for 20 minutes and then watching the United States play yesterday. They felt like they were playing different fucking sports. Yeah. Like,
you know how they say like that looked like it was out of Madden? That looked like it was out of fucking FIFA. The way that it hit his head, the way that he angled the header in the opposite direction, where the goalie was just like, "Oh God, no, my momentum. I've made my decision, and it's not. Oh, just absolutely insane game, bro. Oh my God."
But then you see that, and then again to go back to, not to bring up for all you American fans out there, but like to then see what Freeze did coming out of the box and looking like an absolute bozo, looking like young Wei Koo, not kicking the dirt instead of kicking the ball, and then Tim Ream forgetting that he's an actual international soccer player for an entire game. Just it's crazy to see the disparity of talent gap between. This is when it comes to fruition, because the United States, they looked good in stretches. They beat some teams that they should have beaten, and then they got the job done against a lesser Bosnia team. But like then you get up against the big dogs and you find out what you actually got. And unfortunately, last night, not only did they underperform severely, but they played their worst game maybe in the last 2 or 3 years and just got absolutely dog walked. But let's not forget, going into the World Cup, a lot of people that follow international soccer, especially the U.S. men's national team, really closely, were not expecting this team to do anything going into the tournament. A lot of people were really down on this team. They had some bad CONCACAF performances. They didn't look very good previously, right before, with a couple of the international friendlies going into the tourney as well. So I think people forgot about that because of how good they looked in the first couple of group stage games. But this team still has a lot of work to do between now and they can actually compete on the top 10 international stage. And unfortunately, yesterday, they got.
I see a lot of talk on the timeline about the cost of soccer in the United States. And I think that's like a very real conversation that needs to be had. And I'm from what I've researched today, And a lot of it has to do with travel soccer and the tournaments that you're joining and the fees and obviously, team fees, all these kinds of things that are taking place, going to academies, all of this stuff takes money. And it just feels like in a sport where we have so often seen people plucked from so many different places of obscurity, put in academies at the age of 13, 14. Like I talked about Alphonso Davies going to the Whitecaps camp at 14 years old, that the U.S. isn't doing it the right way. They're doing it in a way and making a sport that was supposed to be the most played sport in the world because of its accessibility, something that's just like a little bit tougher to play. Like it should not compare in pricing to things like hockey, to things like lacrosse, things that require real equipment that you have to buy. This is just a ball. We used to throw shoes on the ground and play barefoot and be like, that's the net. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's something that needs to be done here, I think, in the U.S. for it to really kind of thrive.
Go ahead, PJ.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, too, another point about the game last night. I just feel like this, the stars obviously didn't show up. I mean, Pulisic just taking a ton of flack, and rightfully so. But like, just look at this round of 16. France wins 1-0. Mbappe scores the goal. Norway wins 2-1. Holland scores both the goals. England, Jude with 2 and Harry Kane with 1. And then you had Messi today with the equalizer. So it's like all these teams are having their stars step up, and ours were just completely MIA yesterday. Like you go through, the later you go and the better against competition, like your best players have to show up, and ours obviously did not.
You know what that proves to me?
Yeah.
That they're not stars. I think that this is the conversation that comes out of these types of situations. Professional athletics, to me, is not only about what you're expected to do and what you're paid to do, but then it's what you do in the big moments. Your career gets defined by how you perform when the lights are the brightest. And to me, you can be a, Paul George making $6 most $500 million in the NBA in his career. But what have you done? Like, what is your legacy going to be like? And I know that a lot of people hate having the legacy conversation as an athlete, but like that is how you are judged. Like that's the metric, right? And like, as you said, PJ, people may not remember all the other people are going to forget in this entire competition in 10 years when they talk about this World Cup run, how good Flo Balogun was leading up to this game. They're going to remember, unfortunately, about the red card getting rescinded and getting suspended, and then him playing like a ghost in this game because they could never get him the football. So these are the types of moments that your career gets defined by. And then you have to have the conversation after that, because the World Cup's only 4 years. You don't get a chance to go and play in like domestic league and come back and play next weekend and prove yourself better. Mm-hmm. You got to wait. Yeah. And these guys might be losing out of their window. I said this to Shags this morning. I mean, Christian Pulisic is maybe, I don't know, is he 28, 29, 27, something like that? His window is closing. Like he's in 4 years, he's going to be early 30s. And in soccer terms, you're basically dead unless you're Messi or Ronaldo. Like that is the kind of, you're getting near the curtain part of your career. The prime is closing. In terms of his international play, like he just hasn't really lived up to that level. Like, yes, he's had some maybe, success in Europe, but he really hasn't done anything for Team USA. He sat out the Gold Cup trying to get ready and healthy for this. He sat out, I'm pretty sure, most of the qualifiers and most of this first couple rounds. And he still doesn't perform. People now are talking and having a conversation about Landon Donovan just being a better American player than Pulisic because of what he did. He punched up. He won games that they weren't supposed to, whereas this American team, and him especially, Captain America, has really failed to answer that moment. And I think that's exactly what we've seen from the U.S. team. In terms of Balogun and that red card, I think that the moment was stolen from Team US, the U.S. men's team here. They were riding high. Vibes were immaculate. Everybody in the country was getting along and even cheering for this U.S. squad to kind of overperform, cheering for Balogun and his story with him being a anchor baby, if you want to call it that, right? In the sense that he was born here and then grew up in London. This is just a situation in which he stole this moment from them because of the whole red card thing and because of whatever the hell was going on. The vibes were fantastic. It just turned into everybody against these men on the field. And I don't think that was good. I don't think that was fair to them either. And it just felt like it showed in their play a little bit. They just weren't ready. And Belgium had not just a chip on their shoulder. It felt like a boulder on their shoulder coming into this game. Well, and again, the United States played like dog shit yesterday.
Yeah.
Like not only Pulisic, who was not great, and he unfortunately had to go off with injury. I mean, he did sprain his ankle, so playing soccer with a sprained ankle sucks. So I don't think he would have been able to power through that. But from start to finish, this team was bad. They weren't aggressive. They did not get after the ball. That first goal like landed in front of 4 guys. Tim Ream, as I mentioned, was just terrible in the center back position yesterday. Played like a 34-year-old who is definitely on his last legs and got multiple times. And so now they have 4 years to think about it. But to go back to your question, V, about how much like soccer is, I played travel soccer growing up. I played a little bit of academy soccer for Arsenal when I was a child. And then when I came back to the United States, I played travel soccer for 5 years until I was a sophomore in high school. And the reason why I stopped playing travel in high school was because I wanted to play basketball, and they were at the same time. And my mom was a single mom. And I mean, I go back and think about it now, and every time I see my mom and we get to thinking about this, I tell her, like, Mom, how did you manage this? Because I had tournaments every weekend. You had travel practice multiple times a week. And the soccer boots, super expensive, especially if you want to get the really nice ones, because if you want to play at the highest level, you got to get the nice boots, all that stuff. You got to get balls, obviously. You got to get to practices. You got to get to these tournaments. You got to pay the exorbitant fees for your jerseys. All the tournaments are not just down the street. They're in other cities. They're out of town, and you have to pay for the hotels. Yep, the flights. I remember when I was in the 6th grade, we had a tournament that was in Birmingham, and I was in Tennessee, and I had to fly to Birmingham for this tournament. It was insane. And like, that was 20 years ago, because I'm an old person. I can't imagine what it's like now. And I couldn't even get into the ODP program, which is the Olympic Development Program. I was good enough to get into the ODP program, but it was so fucking expensive that my mom couldn't afford to pay for it. So I just had to play normal travel soccer instead of playing in the ODP program. Then again, this was 20 years ago. Yeah. So the inflation level of that has only gotten worse. And so it's crazy to see the lack of that investment in that level of sports. And we're seeing what has transpired not only this World Cup cycle, but the last 2 or 3. The talent,
the money is there. Right, we see it.
Sure, it's just allocated incorrectly
again and again and again. Like, we have softball players making $1 million per season. We can't invest in soccer academies that aren't burdening parents. We can't invest in the best of the best here. It's insane, especially when you have MLS kind of having its moment and things like that. You would think in these cities, in these places, academies, at least in the big cities, right?
It's because at the end of the day, the United States doesn't really give a shit about soccer. Like, it does, and it likes to pretend like it does in these moments. And it's grown. The game has gotten better, but like, football.
See how much it changes now.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, moving forward, but football will always be king. Basketball is king. Like, there are just other sports that get so much more attention and so much more investment, and then soccer just is kind of like, yeah, okay, well, we'll still be present here and invest some, but like,
somebody tweeted that America needs a Erling Haaland, and they're like, the problem is that he's playing Division II basketball.
Yeah, literally.
But see, the thing is sometimes you try to put a soccer ball at these like athletic guys' feet when they're 16 years old, and I played against guys like that. It's too late. Like, you got to get these guys that when they're young. But the problem is if you give a kid the opportunity to go possibly play soccer and maybe make your millions, but not be a superstar, or you're going to go try to play football or basketball and be make generational wealth. What are you going to choose? What is your parent like? What's this? Where are you going to go? What are you going to choose? How's it going to go? Most of the time, soccer or basketball and football are going to win out, or even baseball.
Accessibility is supposed to win with that sport, and it just hasn't been that, I think, here on this side. And I don't know about the Canadian situation. I would argue that it's probably similar, but we say it all the time with hockey. We don't have goaltending in Canada anymore, in a country that spawned guys like Martin Brodeur and Patrick Waugh, because it's too costly. Hockey is too costly, and being a goaltender on top of everything else, especially at an age where you are growing, it's just way too costly. And now we're seeing that.
Absolutely. Keep us posted, chat, on what's going on in the last World Cup round of 16 knockout game, as Colombia and Sweden are currently tied 0-0 in the 60th minute. Still looking like a sweat for the Colombians, and maybe the Swiss team can pull off a tiny bit of an upset. We'll see what happens there in the last game. No games tomorrow in the World Cup, And then the quarterfinals kick off. Isn't they kick off on Thursday, don't they?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Thursday.
Yeah,
right?
France, Morocco on Thursday.
France, Morocco, which is going to be absolute cinema. France's pathway almost got a little easier with Argentina being eliminated. I'm sure England was just almost jumping for joy over the fact of Brazil and possibly Argentina getting kicked out of the tournament. They're happy about Brazil leaving, obviously, but we shall see what goes down in this last 30 minutes. We got a fun show in front of us today, guys. We're going to play Don't Get Got at the end. PJ's so excited.
Portugal.
Portugal. We're going to play Don't Get Got at the end to finish off the vibes. We're going to give you guys the moves, the betting. No more soccer to talk about for the rest of the day today, but these two guys have some plays for you guys on the Diamond and the MLB slate this evening. 2 WNBA games to talk about as well. I've got some bets out there tonight, and then we'll cook a parlay to sweat out for the rest of the evening. Brought to you by our sponsors at OnlineCasinoGames.com. Disney's not here this week because he's knee-deep in the Blackjack Lab. That's where he is, locked to his computer. No, I'm kidding. He's on vacation. Go check it out at OnlineCasinoGames.com. Get some promo funds dropped into your account with BNX20 right there on the screen. Anything else news-wise you guys want to talk about? We'll play the game obviously a little bit later to finish off the vibes for the show. Any other news you guys want to bring up before we jump to the plays?
Actually, yeah, one thing I wanted to, you sent this in the chat, SPJ. I think we've all seen this today, but it's Donovan Mitchell's deal. What are our feelings on that deal? What do we think? Do you think it's an overpay? I can go first because I think it's definitely an overpay. I think at 34 years old, you're going to be paying him close to $75 million. I don't know. When you look at guys his size and what their seasons look like after the age of 32 or after the age of 30, there's a sharp decline. And yes, you can even look at the guys who were elite at their position. There's still a pretty big decline if your name isn't Stephen Curry. I just think that this is a spot where you're kind of paying a guy who has never been a great facilitator. I don't think that's going to all of a sudden develop as a part of his game. 75 million at 34 years old is insane to me. It's a player option. He's definitely going to opt in. I don't see how that makes sense. And even with the JB deal looming, and obviously they can't do that extension now until next year, I still think a 6'6" Jaylen Brown at the exact same age is more worth it than 34-year-old at 75 million. PJ, what do you think?
It's just, I mean, what I think is that, 5 years ago, you would have told kids to pick up a bat and a glove and just be good at baseball. And now it's, go pick up a ball and find your local park and get good at basketball. I mean, Donovan Mitchell making that much money is crazy. We all know he's a good player. But it's just time and time again. We've seen him come up short in the postseason. What were we just talking about with Pulisic and the U.S. team, right? All that good that they did in group stage, regular season, it's all fun and games. People are just going to remember what happened in the Belgium game, and that's kind of the way Donovan Mitchell's career is trending. We all know what he can do in an 82-game season. He's a great player between November and March and early April, and then you get into the postseason, and more often than not, his teams disappoint. He disappoints. But obviously, making that move, you then wonder, like, what does this mean for the LeBron sweepstakes? And kind of all the reports right now, I saw something, Windhorse was on a podcast or whatever, and he said that he definitely think LeBron knows where he's going. And all these prediction markets have Cleveland as the heavy favorite. I've seen pictures with him in Akron this past week and hanging out there. So, they make a move like this, kind of seal Donovan Mitchell. We'll see what they end up doing with Harden, but they make a move like this, and immediately I think I agree with you, V, overpay. And do they make this just as another move to lure LeBron back to Cleveland to finish out his career?
This, to me, I agree with everything you guys just said. I think it's an overpay based upon age purely. This, to me, feels like that they're just giving him they're like saying, thanks for your service. Like, he's been an incredible teammate. He has been an incredible leader for the city of Cleveland. It feels like that they're not necessarily only paying him for his basketball talents. I think this contract is also like reaffirming that they believe in him just as a human being, which whether that's true, right or wrong, I don't know. But you can't just look at the guy basketball wise and be like, he's worth this money. Like, that makes zero sense. So I think that it's roped in by the fact that they like the guy. They think he's a good leader. They think he's a good face of the franchise for this last run of the prime of his career. And then they surround him with, as you said, possibly Braun coming home, possibly some other pieces, Mobley still taking another step. and then we'll see how it goes. But it feels like to me of like, thanks, Spida. We appreciate you for, hanging out in Cleveland instead of getting yourself out of Utah. And here's some cheese. He's made when this contract is up, he will be 6th in all-time earnings, $500 million plus in the NBA.
The other surprising one on that chart was Devin Booker. Almost, I think $500 million in career earnings, and somebody pointed out the fact 25 playoff wins, and we know how many of those came in one single playoff run. So that's got to be a little bit of a. And I'm a big Booker. I love Devin Booker, but that was crazy thing to point out. On the LeBron note, this is probably not happening, but I watched that entire Brad Stevens interview yesterday, and I didn't think about it at the time, but like when there was this moment where he's talking about free agents, and he's like, and he has this long pause, and obviously he's thinking about the free agent, like probably the first name on their list right now that they're trying to sign. And now Celtics fans are running away with that and thinking, that's LeBron. That's LeBron. LeBron's coming to Boston. LeBron's coming to us. And we have the player exemption. We have, I think it's the mid-level exemption that would allow him to sign. And I don't know. I'm just saying, LeBron in Celtic green at this age, I don't know if I love it or hate it. I'm very confused. I'm going to ask Silk how to feel. And I think I know the answer.
The funny thing is like if LeBron went to the Celtics, you would just constantly be like you'd be like those people that like beat themselves but like it. Like you'd be like that with LeBron.
Honestly, you might see one of the craziest 180s you've ever seen in your life. Like I tell Chad all the time, if I met LeBron James in person, I would be completely so fake. I would be so fake, 100%. If he joins the Celtics, I'd 100%. Same thing. I'm changing 180%, 180 degrees.
According to Sport Track, this is what I was just referencing that V just mentioned. Brett Usher posted this earlier. Kevin Durant has made $591 million as of when his contract is up in 2030-31. Braun, $581 million. Curry, third with $532 million. Devin Booker, as you mentioned, $519. Is it 500? Yeah, $519 million. I just tripped myself up for a second. Fifth, Paul George, crazy, 506. Podcast P, $516 million, and then Donovan Mitchell, when this contract is up in 4 years, $511 million as well. Crazy NBA money.
Multiple max deals now.
As PJ said, Chad, if you got a kid out there, give him a basketball.
Yes.
Go teach him to shoot.
Doesn't have to be ball anymore. You know what I mean?
I'd say go teach them to shoot their free throws, but with the new possible free throw rule, you may not even need to make those anymore.
Horrendous. Can we there are so many reasons to get Adam Silver the fuck out of the NBA.
Have you seen this, PJ? You know what we're talking about?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God. Please.
They're testing in the summer league that it's only applies except for the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. If you get fouled on a 2-pointer or a 3-pointer, you only have to make one free throw and all the points get counted.
But if you miss it, you don't get any of the points. Horrendous. I
did briefly see, I can't remember what game, but I saw a guy, I guess, get fouled on a 3 and he shot one free throw and it counted for 3 points. So
3 points.
So you only get the one free throw basically. And if you miss it, you don't. Wow. So is that their way of like trying to integrate like a 1-and-1 into the NBA? You think? Like
no, it's like it's speeding up the game.
It's just trying to speed up. Like, why do we need to speed up the game? At what point? And who's asking for this? First of all, it's not who gets. It's not anybody. This is not even like baseball where they were like, "Yo, like it's not healthy to sit around for 5 hours every single day, 162 times a year per team." For any fan, so maybe we speed it up a little bit. This is not that, man. Like we don't need this. If you want to speed up the game, cut the commercials, cut the commercial timeouts, cut things like that. Adam Silver, like what are we doing here? I hated this. Somebody also pointed out, it's like, at what point do we sit here and say this about football? Do we want to speed up football, or do we enjoy sitting back and watching these teams play, watching them set a pace, and watching them? Like it's a game in which there's maybe 12 minutes of action, if you really want to count up the seconds, in a 3-hour window. Come on. I hate this. I hate you, Adam Silver. I hate you.
If you love sports, I want to spend more time watching sports. I don't want to spend less time watching sports. I would much rather the game be longer and more enjoyable than shorter and less time enjoying the thing that I love the most. I think a lot of us sports fans can agree. Do not take time away from us. Give us more time watching the sports that we love.
One shot? Come on, bro. Can you imagine that? PJ, you shoot a free throw and you get 3 points for that? That's such a... What? That's what happened. That was the
and then-
example I saw. It didn't become real SPG until I saw that video you posted where he takes one free throw and it goes up 3 on the scoreboard. And I was like, this is egregious. This is disgusting.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I wonder if that ends up happening too,
But-
like what that's going to do to the player, like the prop market, like for points, right?
Right.
Like how do you account for that if guys are going to the line and only have to make 1 free throw for 2 points or 3 points?
It changes the game so
pretty-
much, man.
It's pretty
I don't want this.
Yeah, I hate that
whatsoever.
rule. Please don't do that.
I said that it's you guys agree, and I think all basketball fans agree that it's a shitty rule, and hopefully that will bully the NBA to not doing it. But I think it also would cause such a detriment to the development of players because, like, all those young kids that are learning how to play basketball, part of learning how to play basketball is being an elite/good free throw shooter and learning how to do that as a process of being a better basketball player. That would go out the window because you wouldn't need to practice your free throws as much because you wouldn't be shooting as many.
The 1-on-1 rule is better than this. Like, you know what I mean? If you want, like, the 1-on-1 rule that college has would be better than this. Not
Agreed.
that I want that in
Why
the
did-
NBA either.
Why'd they get did they used to have that in the NBA, or was that just never an NBA thing?
That I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if
I don't think it was ever in the NBA. I think it's something that in college they've adopted.
'Cause I always kind of liked that. Like I thought
Look-
that was all right.
And you know what's funny? I've always thought it should be reversed, right? Like if you're the professional, shouldn't you be the one that has to make the free throw to get another one instead of the college kid
kids-
doing
the
it?
kid
you know?
who's got fucking algebra homework sitting at
It's-
home.
It would be like in the college game if the receiver in football, if they had to get 2 feet in and the NFL only had to get 1, you know what I mean? It's like why don't they, like in the NBA? I've always I don't understand.
Okay,
why they do that.
On that note, random side note, I fucking hate that about college football. These guys are basically professional football players now. They can get 2 fucking feet in bounds. Like, I just think that it's so stupid that they haven't changed that rule in college football to have it be 2 feet. Because
Yeah.
a lot of the wide receivers, they basically, if they want to be a professional wide receiver anyway, they're learning how to get 2 feet down in college. Because if you can't get 2 feet down in college, you ain't gonna fucking figure it out magically in the pros.
It's a good
To
point.
purely
The-
to influence scoring.
The one that I hate in college football is when the receiver or the running back, whoever, goes down and then he's down. It's not
Oh,
like
yeah,
in the
that's
NFL
dumb
where
too.
he can get back up. Oh, I hate that. I hate that one in college, man. It's
I
like,
feel
why
like-
can't you get back up?
I feel like
Or
that's
like when there's a fumble and the ball's dead. Like it's a dead ball,
Yeah.
right? Or in turnovers.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's
Also-
annoying too. Like, what the fuck?
now that we're on this fucking rant, why is targeting a thing in college and in the NFL they don't have the same shit? What are we doing?
At the
Yeah,
same
there you go,
time.
Beast.
It's true.
What
It's
are, like,
true.
especially nowadays, and I get that the NBA, the college game is direct feed into the NBA, but with FIBA and everything like that, there's a little bit of more diversity there. We've also seen a lot of the college kids that got drafted, Peterson, Acuff, Boozer, a lot of these guys have been putting on a show the last few days in the summer league, which is going to be really fun. But we can all agree that college football is basically like a AAA into the NFL. Like, it is the direct path, lead in, here you
Yep.
go, hand you blue chip players immediately. Why is the game not mirrored? Exactly. Like all of and these are not small rules. These are big rules that changes the development path of some of these players. Why, like, what is the reasoning for that? Especially now. Like, I get maybe 20 years ago, but now it's like, change that shit.
Imagine how much it changes the development of coaches too, and why so many college coaches don't make it, as a big time coach. Or obviously
Yeah.
Belichick was in his late stages of his career, so I don't want to judge his time at Carolina solely based off of, the fact that he was in college and not like 90 years old. But like,
Hey, guess
it's just-
what?
It's a tough thing to do.
You guys know what's dope about this? You see that thing behind Vsauce's head? 64 days till the start of the NFL season. Football is around the corner.
It's getting
Right
there.
there, chat. I'm so close.
Boys. Chat, we're going to have a lot of information for you guys coming pretty soon, actually. Fantasy Football League is going to be back this year. We're going to be doing some fun stuff with you guys in our chat. We had 3 fantasy football leagues last year. We had one with all of us here on the network. We had a chat league, and we had so many entries last year. We had to do 2 chat leagues. Shit, we might have 3 this year. I don't know. We'll
The
see.
league is going to be very, very intense just because of how deep it's going to be now. Like it's not going to be a 10-team league anymore. It's going to be
No.
everybody at each other's necks for the waiver wire.
We might also, I saw this on the timeline today, and I know that this has become a thing, and then we'll get to some bets with you guys. the not knockout. The ESPN calls them the knockout leagues. Apparently, Adam said they're also called guillotine leagues, which is basically like where you play every week, and if you are the worst scoring team that week, you get eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I've never heard of these. That sounds fucking fun.
Yeah,
We might have to-
guillotine.
we
I've
might
never
have you ever done one?
played in one. I heard about it last year though, and I was like, that's a fun way to go about it. So I'm with you. Because that is truly like week to week, right? One week you team could put up 170, the next week they could put up 82, and then it's just like you're cooked, you're done. So.
The next week, GG's Jameer Gibbs in a great matchup has 1 catch and 3 rushing yards for no reason. All the above. Oh, I can't wait for the bitching. We're so close, chat.
Concussion at the worst time. You know what I mean? Like
who is the one player this year that you will not draft because he has done you so dirty in the past? Is there a player for you like that immediately comes to mind?
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, immediately comes to mind for me. No. But
I'll never have Jalen Hurts as my quarterback. I don't care how many rushing touchdowns he gets.
Okay.
That might not even be a fantasy thing. I think that's just a personal thing for SBJ.
I like him as a dude. He seems like a great guy. Would love to hang out with him. Terrible at quarterback, though. Like the fact that people think that he's an elite NFL quarterback to me is just incredibly shocking.
Yeah, I don't know if there's one.
Yeah, do you have
I don't know
one?
if there's one for me off the top of my head. AJ Brown's always like a funny one. He's just like so.
He's going to be a big one this year too because
Yeah.
of there's going to be so many people reaching for him, thinking he's going to be top 5 in the Patriots offense. And I mean, he could be, but he could also be a massive dud. Be interested to see where he gets drafted.
I see Andrews in the chat. Like the tight ends is a good, like Laporta. Effed me. Like, I mean, jeez, God, that guy. I'm sure there are a lot of tight ends where people thought they would be pretty good, ended up sucking. So, yeah, Andrew's a good call. I think Laporta, oh, God, killed me.
Boys, we're going to have some fun talking fantasy. We got some fantasy football talk coming up, like weekly as well. It's going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Football chatter. That first day in like
3 weeks away.
Amen. First day in a month, maybe not a month because it's still hot as shit outside, but maybe in like 6 weeks, you're going to wake up in the morning, chat. You're going to open your door. There's going to be a little briskness in the air. Maybe some of the leaves are going to start to turn. Maybe a little get of crispness. Football around the corner, baby. Anyway, though, we got some time for that coming very soon. Yeah, it's snowing in Calgary right now, Beast McGee's. So I guess there's snow on the ground. All right, let's talk baseball before I know PJ's got to get out of here shortly. So let's go to the diamond and talk about what we're going to bet tonight because we can spend the rest of the time fantasizing about how much we're going to enjoy some football chatter this fall. But PJ, lead us off, man. I know you got a couple money lines you like tonight on the diamond. Where are we going?
Yeah, we'll start with that Marlins and Mariners game tonight. So the Mariners they had the day off yesterday, the day prior to that. So on Sunday, they played at home against Toronto. They got to fly across the country, probably make the longest trip that any team in Major League Baseball has to make, going from Seattle to Miami. And they get one of the better pitchers in the National League in Max Meyer. If you haven't been paying too close attention to baseball, the Marlins are like the hottest team in the sport. They were unreal in June. They've been really solid in July. Brian Wu's on the mound tonight, so you got a great pitching matchup. But I just think kind of the travel spot and with how good the Marlins have been, I mean, if they're going to continue to give us like minus 125 on Miami, I will continue to take it with the Marlins. So I think that's a pretty good price on the fish tonight. And then the other one that I like is Tampa, minus 135 against the Yankees. The Trop has been a house of horrors for the Yanks in the past. We know that they've been on this brutal losing streak. They did win last night, so I kind of like the fact that they won. I think it's time to buy back here on the Rays at home. They've been playing much better baseball than the Yankees have over the last 2-3 weeks with all the injuries that the Yanks have. So a couple of money line favorites tonight. Don't hate parlaying them together if you really want to get crazy, but both the Florida teams, Rays, Marlins, I like them at home.
I just left Florida and you're going back. That sounds good.
There you go.
Nice. Sunshine State. Rays, Marlins, just get the job done. Moneyline prices. Love to see it, man. Well, PJ, it's been a pleasure hanging out with you, dude. I know you got to get out of here. We might put both of these money lines in the parlay, but do you have a favorite of the two?
I would say, yeah, I do like them both. I'll go the Rays if I had to pick one. I'd say I'd lead Tampa.
Okay. All right, brother. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Go follow PJ on the timeline at PJ Glasser 9. More content coming very soon right here on the Betting News Network from PJ. Have a great rest of your day, dude. Good to see you.
Thanks, boys. Always good chatting to you. Have a good one.
Absolutely. See you later, man. All right. Sauce Man. I know you got a couple hitters. And newsflash, chat. I'm not going to say what I want to say because I'll jinx it. But tap in with Sauce Man. That's all I got. Okay, go ahead.
Please. I'm not even going to say it either, but I appreciate you. I know what you were going to say. It's the same thing I was going to say that we both decided not to say.
Better that we don't say what we were going to say because we wanted to say it, but we're not going to say it because we don't want to say it.
Yep. Like I said, one soul, two bodies. Fucked that up almost. But here we go. Two hitters. Let's start off with the first one, the chalkier one, and one of the biggest hitters in baseball right now. This dude just celebrated his birthday on July 5th, and he hit a home run last night, I think on his second at-bat. Plus 225 to go yard tonight. He's got another great matchup. The Rockies have been hot offensively, and we saw it last night with the way they really kept up with the Dodgers. If the Dodgers want to get out of here, they're going to have to put up some runs. I know there's Robelski, I don't know how you pronounce this guy's name on for the Dodgers, so he might not give up a ton, but looking at some of the pitching matchups, he is vulnerable to a couple of guys. I do think that the Rockies will put up some runs tonight. I just love Ohtani in this spot. I think he's been really hot. He's been really cold in the month of July, obviously small sample size, but he was fully back in the month of June. I think this is him starting to pick it back up at plus 225. I am taking him once again tonight. I was taking Buxton, but obviously Buxton did get placed on the IL today, unfortunately, with a hip issue. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but unfortunate. Now we're going back to somebody else we bet yesterday. The kid, 23-year-old. James Wood. He went yard for us yesterday. We're getting a little bit of a better price here today. The kid has been fantastic, and he's just been so good at home. He is batting .273 in DC this year with a .580 slugging and a 56% hard hit rate. He leads the league in runs scored. He leads the league in barrel rate and hard hit rate, and he's at the 7th, maybe 6th most home runs now after hitting his 24th last night. Again, this is a spot in which the Houston Astros are sending out a rookie 28-year-old in Tatsuya Imai. Pretty sure that's how you say his name. He's at a 6.14 ERA with 8 home runs in just 48 innings pitched, meaning he's given up 1.5 home runs per 9 innings, and 6 of these home runs have been to left-handed bats. Like I said, he is just not been good. He's using a heavy combination of his slider and his four-seam fastball against left-handed bats, and those are two balls that Wood just absolutely crushes. He's got a hard hit rate north of 60% against both pitches against right-handed pitchers. So, yeah, give me Wood to get one over the fence. I think the guy's playing a little bit better with Jordan on the other sideline there. The entire Washington Nationals team was hot yesterday. Astros almost made a comeback, but I just think Wood's in another great spot to plus 270. I am taking him once again.
You did a good job of not that's what she's setting yourself. Good job.
Oh, yeah. I probably a bunch of them in there. You know what I mean? When Sook's not sitting here smirking at me, then I know that there hasn't been. Then it hasn't processed. But when I see that smile, then I'm
you did a good job today. You did it a bunch yesterday, and he went yard, so it worked out.
I'm with you too, as long as it goes well.
I'm with you on Shohei. I took Shohei as well. I bet him yesterday, going straight back to him today in the matchup, like you mentioned. Nice weather as well at Dodger Stadium, wind blowing out to center. Beautiful day in California. All right, let's go to the Lady Baller, Sauce Man, and then we're going to cook the parlay, and then we're going to finish off the show play and don't get got. Get ready, Jackson. You're joining us because I forgot that PJ's leaving early, so he'll be with us. He's got his thumbs up. Chat, you guys can play along as well in just a minute. 2 games, V, in the WNBA. Are you getting closer to like actually putting out some plays in the dub? Because you've been enjoying and talking about it.
I am getting closer. Kiki the other day kind of left me jaded, but Paige, the 22-plus points did come through, so that was really, really nice. And, I mean, these ladies have been absolutely hooping. It's really hard not to. There's a play I'm going to ask you about in the later game, but I'll let you start off with the Wings and Liberty, and then I'll pick your brain.
Let's go. Liberty taking on the Wings. I mean, there's no World Cup games tonight, chat. There's obviously some baseball. If you have never watched a WNBA game, ever, watch this game tonight. The Liberty taking on the Wings. First of all, the Liberty could be the best team in the entire sport right now, especially with the way Sabrina's playing, coming back from injury. Second, Paige Beckers is must-see TV. Like, the way she is just controlling the basketball right now is, I posted a video of her with the bag work that she's got. I've never seen in my life, Sauce Man, in a professional basketball game, somebody pull off that move. It was just sick nasty, bro.
Like so said, she is Kyrie.
She is. The bag works insanity. Anyway, check out the game tonight. 4.5-point favorites are the Liberty, Paige Beckers and company, traveling to the Big Apple. And I'm going to keep it nice and chalky. You know what the thing is that I've learned about betting Paige Beckers? I like betting Paige. As you mentioned, she cashed us out the other night. She's really, really looking like she's figured it out. She was great last year as a rookie, but she's now really turning the screw even more at the professional level. But I talked with Flo about this.
Mm-hmm.
You always bet Paige in big cities. She loves playing in Los Angeles. She loves playing when she's down in Texas, and she loves playing up in the Big Apple. This game is in the Liberty's home stadium. 4.5-point favorites, like I mentioned, for the Liberty. The Wings, set it, forget it, don't overthink it. First play for me, give me Paige Beckers. I took her PRA. You can take the points if you want. You can get it at 20.5 for a playable price. Fine there. Go ahead, take it. But she's been facilitating like crazy. She's always going to be good on the glass as well as a bigger guard. She's hit this PRA line in 6 straight games. She's also hit it in back-to-back games against the Liberty. She had 24, 6, and 2 assists in their game earlier this year in New York against the Liberty. I'm not going to overthink it. So, superstar on one side, and I'm going straight back to the other superstar on the other side. This line is still too low. I told you guys the last couple of times I've bet Sabrina Ionescu that this line is too low, and they have not moved it, so I'm going to keep taking it. Give me the 23.5 PRA for Sabrina Ionescu. She is back. She has returned to full form, starting to really play like the superstar that she is, returning from that ankle injury that kind of hampered her to start the regular season. She didn't hit this in her first game against the Wings earlier this year, but that was when she was kind of getting her flow back. So we still had 11, 5, and 7, though. The shots are starting to fall. She's looking like that girl, and the Wings still struggle defensively. So it's going to be a good game tonight between 2 really good teams, and I think the Wings are going to end up making the playoffs as well. So 2 playoff-bound teams most likely. Should be a really good one tonight. So tap in if you want to watch this game tonight. If you've never watched the Dubs, good night to get involved. And I'm going with both superstars to put on a show tonight in the Liberty's home arena.
Before we move off that one, SPJ, I want to ask, what about Stewie? Stewie's been kind of hooping as of late. She's hit this PRA line in 6 of her last 10 games, 4 of her last 6 overall, 25 and 36 points in the last 2 games. Do you think that she continues to cook tonight, or what's the matchup like, I guess, with Dallas?
Pretty good. Jessica Shepard is good down low, but she's a little bit better offensively than she is defensively. She also had kind of a bad shooting game against this team earlier this year. She only scored 14 points, but she shot the ball 18 times. I'm still just going to keep taking Sabrina because the PRA is lower, and I think that they should have the similar amount of volume, especially when they get to the point of like, I just don't think the books have corrected yet. You know what I mean? On like which line is better, because the PRA for Stewie's at 30.5, 31.5, depending on where you're shopping.
Yeah,
I think it's a good bet. She's going to be good in this game. She could take over completely. We could see a 25 to 30 point game from Stewie, no doubt. But I just went with the lower line for Sabrina, but I like Stewie too. It's a good matchup.
Sounds like offense in this game. And the total of 175.5 too. I mean,
yeah, higher total for 2 teams that this could turn into kind of a playoff style atmosphere with this game, but I think it's going to turn into not like the cagey defensive playoff style atmosphere, more of like the, let's put the ball in the bucket and have some fun.
It kind of feels like the Wings are having that season this year that maybe the Fever had last year, where they've now really kind of gotten comfortable with Paige there, and now her style of play, everyone's style of play is caught up to how she's playing and her level of play. They're 11-6 now. These are the games that are the measuring sticks. These are the games that matter that much more. And like you said, not only is this a big city, but this is a team in the top 3 of the standings. And if you want to compete with those guys, if you want to compete come playoff time, this is one of those games.
Them signing Jessica Shepard was massive because it unlocked the key of this offense, and obviously also some of the pieces that they were able to do in the offseason and the progression of Paige. But you're right. This is a big, checkpoint for this team to continue to show that they're for real. A la something we saw last season with, the likes of the Hornets, like these types of teams, not showing that it's an anomaly, but you're actually here to hoop. And that
exactly.
could be something we see
It's
tonight.
a lot of fun to watch.
Yep. All right. Second game, as you mentioned, you got a question. I got a play I love in this game. Chicago Sky traveling to the desert, taking on the Phoenix Mercury. 2 teams that are kind of struggling in the standings, but should be a fun one nonetheless. 3.5-point favorites are the Mercury at home, 172.5 point total. Skylar Diggins been getting a lot of news on the timeline with kind of getting really upset with her benching, as she has never been a non-starter when she's fully healthy. She got suspended by the team for a half. It's not not looking like it's going to turn out very well with the Skylar Diggins playing in Chicago situation. Don't know what's going on there. Don't know how that's going to affect the game tonight. If you want to maybe lean into that and maybe take some Skylar Diggins stock, you can. I did not get involved with that on that side for sure, but I don't know what's going on with that situation. Doesn't seem to be working out very well. Stevens and Cardoso are in good spots. I looked at Alyssa Thomas on the other side. She's been really, really good since returning from that suspension. Her RA looked enticing to me at 15.5. She flirted with a triple-double her last game against Seattle. This could be another spot tonight where she gets over that 15.5 line with 11 boards and 6 assists in her game against the Sky earlier this season. And as we've talked about before, Sauce Man, this Sky team is terrible defensively. Like, they are awful. They are so bad in the rebounding department. They don't allow a lot of assists, but they get torched everywhere on the court, threes, inside the paint. Like, they are just not good defensively. So any kind of option that you would like to take against this Sky team is a good one. Like I said, Alyssa Thomas's RA or even her PRA. But I'm taking one of my like kind of sneaky players that I've been betting so far this season, and I still don't really understand why this line is sitting at a playable price. Aye, baby. Aye, Captain. I don't know. Honestly don't know how to say her first name because like I've heard 7 different pronunciations.
Valerian?
She's French, so it's maybe Valerian. I don't know. But I do know it's Ai, and she also has a crazy other way to pronounce her last name. But anyway, over 11.5 points. Paid a bit of juice for this one. If you want to take the 12.5 at a playable price, feel free to do so. 18, 20, 19, 9, and 18 points in her last 5 games. V playing starter minutes. She should probably see starter minutes again as Brocante is still a game time decision. I don't think she's going to play. Even if she does, I still think that Ai is going to get a solid 25 minutes for this offense. This 11.5 line is just way too low. Really efficient on the block. She's a good shooter. She can get open from deep. She's taken 4+ threes in 5 straight games. She's knocked down 2 of them in back-to-back games, and she's been taking 8, 14, and 11 shots in her last 3 as well. Line's too low. One of the worst defensive teams on the other side in the Sky. Aye, Captain. Knock down some shots, please, and thank you.
I like SPJ. I mean, I like him. I was all down to bet on a good name. If you have a good name, I'm down to probably put a little bit of coin on you.
A little bit of coin. Sounds good.
Before we get to the game, I did have a question, and you mentioned her name, Camila Cardoso.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the Diggins situation is unfortunate, however that is playing out, and this just feels like a spot where she has been absolutely cooking over the last few games. If you look at the points and rebounds, not only is she hitting that, but sometimes she's cleared this 24.5 PR line with just points. She's had 24 more points in 3 games in her last 6. She's cleared this line of her PR in 5 of the last 6. No Diggins tonight. Obviously, we know that Phoenix has not been good in the front court. They are very much injured. I don't think they have a center out there today. So I was going to ask you about this matchup for Cardoso. Do you think that maybe she's got a chance to just dominate down low today?
Probably. She just has really struggled against this team for some reason in the past. And I don't know why. And maybe it's a good spot just with how good she's been. But for me, dude, I got a little bit of recency bias with betting Camilla just because I always get her and Stevens wrong. I choose Camilla Cardoso and Stevens goes crazy. I choose Stevens and Cardoso has, 15 for 15 and scores 30 points. Like, I can't do it. So I like it. It's a good matchup. I didn't go with it because I kind of like the Mercury side a little bit better. But her and Stevens probably will have a good game tonight. So if you like it, I think the PR is definitely the move.
Okay. All right. I'll double on the PR then maybe a little bit. There are 2 Summer League games. Not Summer League plays from our boy Sook. He wanted me to drop for everybody in chat. He's taking the Grizzlies minus 3.5. I'm going to not pretend like I know why or anything what's going on, but he's taking the Grizzlies minus 3.5, and the Jazz have been fantastic. Not only is Cody Williams here playing at Summer League, they're trying to win these games, but Darren Peterson has been one of the best stories of this entire Summer League so far. He's averaging close to, I think, 27 points per game in the 2 games he's played. This might be his final game before they shut him down. We know how that usually goes. I just think that if you want to get in, have some coin on this Jazz team right now, the minus 5.5. I tailed both, so do what you want with them. I think they're worth at least a half unit. I've got a full unit on both. Sook's been hot. The kid's been printing. Now that I said that, it's probably going to be a little bit, but I mean, he's locked in. He's locked.
He hit both his plays yesterday. So
His off season was like 3 weeks. 3 weeks, really.
Not really. I'll say this, and then we'll cook, and then we'll play Don't Get Got before we get out of here. I did bet Darius Jacobs Jr. to be the Rookie of the Year. I got it at plus 500. Tail, if you want to chat. Peterson's been awesome. I think all right. So here I'll give you my reasoning. I like Jacobs Jr. a lot, but I think that he's going to be in a situation in Sacramento where this guy's going to have to take 25 shots a game. Like, I just think that he's going to be in a position to show off his skills more than Peterson. There's a lot of mouths to feed on that Utah offense, and I think that Peterson could turn out to be the bona fide 1A, but can you really think that Lauri Markkanen's not going to be out there hucking shots for a good portion of this offense? Keontae George is just going to go away. So I just think Acuff, even with Levine on the court as well, I just think Acuff's going to have more of an opportunity to shine a little bit more in comparison.
I kind of agree with that. And that could apply to Peterson, that could apply to Garbanza, that could apply to Boozer as well. Like, there's a couple of teams where I think that they're not going to have the opportunity. Acuff is in a very one-of-one situation where he's probably number one on that depth chart now, right? Zach LaVine is just a guy getting paid a shit ton of money to really do nothing. DeRozan's now been waived and stretched. This is just a situation in which, you drafted this guy, right? And you want a good pick next year. I would give him the keys on day one and see where the hell he takes you, right? The Mavericks did it last year, put a ton of asses in seats. It put a lot of eyes on them in terms of people that were watching them. And it's just one of those situations in which just do it and give him the keys. Stop looking around. Sabonis is also looking to, I think, get traded too. So this isn't going to be a situation in which there's any competition for usage.
I think the Sabonis thing is also win-win. If he goes away, then obviously even more shots. If he ends up playing for the Kings, I love that pick and roll combination. That sounds awesome.
I do, yeah.
So, all right, let's cook, and then we'll do Don't Get Got, and we'll get out of here. No soccer to add, which is sad, but that game has gone to extra time. Overtime. Look at me, I'm already in other football mind.
Americans.
Extra time between the Swiss and the Colombians. Keep us posted if that ends up going out while we are in here too. Okay, PJ wanted the Marlins, right? Or was it the
No, let's take the Rays. I don't know that I hate the Marlins, but they're off a pretty, I know that the Mariners are traveling pretty far and making a really long trip, but the Marlins have been away from home since I think the 26th of June, and they've been on the West Coast, coming off a series here with the Athletics. Door shutting. But yes, coming off a series with the Athletics in which you know what it's like. There's always that you're coming back from Coors, you're coming back from a place like that, a very hitter-friendly stadium, and now you're back in Miami in a very big ass outfield.
The old grocery spot.
Yeah, so give me the Rays. I think the Rays are in a good spot. I think Weathers, I think it's for the Yanks. I think he gets lit up a little bit today. Junior has been on fire, and he's got a great matchup tonight.
Will Warren on the bump for the Yankees. Close, though.
Mm-hmm. Will Warren.
Yeah. Okay. Shohei. Should we go Shohei?
Yeah, now for Shohei.
Otani.
Wood.
And Wood. Bases for both, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so bases for James Wood. Find this right here.
So it also took Venezuela plus 7.5 chat, just so you know.
In FIBA?
Yeah. Venezuela.
I love that. I love when Sook gets degen with the Summer League in the Venezuela and the FIBA basketball.
FIBA's been fantastic. A couple of big performances while you think about what WNBA to put in there. Hugo Gonzalez, Luca Garza, Cardwell just had a big game. Was it Cardwell or was it Max? Max. What's his last name? SPJ for the Kings. Maxime Reynaud.
Reynaud.
Yeah. It's a couple of big time performers out there right now in FIBA. It's a lot of fun. Shea just had a big time game. He chopped the braids. He locked in. Stephon Castle.
You're
balls
next.
In your court, brother.
You're
balls
next.
In your court.
Western
Conference Finals on the line.
I can't wait for the day that he does that. You're gonna go bananas.
I love the hair. I'm a big hair guy, Beast. Trust me. But it's if you want to win, you gotta lock the fuck in.
If you want to win, you gotta lock in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I like II a lot, but her points line has moved so much now. So let's go with Big Time Page.
Big time Page. That sounds like a nice fourth leg.
Big Time Page.
Honestly, I really wanted a reason to tune in. Like, not I needed a reason. I shouldn't say it like that. I have been loving the WNBA, and my bets have been minimal. But I really want to sweat something in that game. That's what I should say.
There we go. Page over 31.5 PRA plus 1,000 sauce, man. Paige Beckers 32 plus PRA. Shohei 2 bases. James Wood 2 bases, and the Tampa Bay Rays to get the job done. Bing bong bang. I don't want to make Sook nervous and put a summer league play in here, even when he's not here. I think that will
break the one leg curse today, please.
Yeah, please. Although yesterday we missed 2 legs, but
we did break the leg. Yeah, we did broke the curse yesterday. Now let's go for no legs.
0 legs missed. Okay. That'll get posted on the timeline. If you want to tail, feel free to do so. Prep responsibly, as always. All right, V. Get up here, Beast. Let's finish off the show with Don't Get Got, chat. Fill out what you guys think and let us know. Try to remember, don't get got, because I'm going to try to get you guys. I'm set. Oh, PJ got out of here before you had to play. Lucky bastard.
I know, 100%. Peter probably sitting in chat just watching right now, too. Don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah. All right. You guys ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. Chat, fill in what you guys answer, what you guys think is well remembered. Try to pick what I don't pick. World Cup has been awesome. It's been fantastic. Name me a country that has played in the World Cup that has blue in their flag.
I know what you picked, so I'm just thinking of other flags now.
You know what I picked, okay.
Picked.
Why did I accidentally do you have my notes app shared or something?
I'm going with Sweden.
I'm in your brain.
Okay.
I'm going with Sweden.
So you are safe. Well done, Sauce Man.
It felt like too obvious, like the big blue. You know what I mean?
I'm going to go the USA.
You are also safe, McNeese. Let's go.
All
right. Well, if you're in my brain, what did I choose?
Cabo Verde.
Hey, you are in my brain. Well done.
That was the first one that came to my mind. I'm so glad I just blurted it out.
I almost went Argentina, and then I changed to Cape Verde. Big brain. You're so you are from the other country. You're so international. Saying Cabo Verde. What missed besides the U.S.? I can't remember. Something else. We went 2 for 4. But U.S. obviously sold really bad.
Oh, it was Hunter Goodman.
Oh, yeah.
6. No, I guess 0 for 4 with 2 walks, but still. The brother had 6 at-bats.
Mm-hmm. You guys are all safe. Well done, chat. Good job. All right, next up. Athlete in honor of Jaylen Brown getting traded. Sorry, V. Name me an athlete with the last name that is a color. Any athlete, any sport.
Okay, I got one.
I don't know his first name.
Wait, hold on.
There it is. Leaky Black.
You're safe.
Thanks, Sook.
Anthony Black.
You got.
I fucking knew it. You know what happened there? It's so funny because after the Cabo Verde one, I was like, okay, this is how I win this game. I have to go against my first instinct. And then the second question you asked, my first instinct was Anthony Black. And then I was like, hold on, but does he think my first instinct will be Derek White? I can't say Derek White. And then I boned myself. That's it.
Anthony Black. Gotcha. You
Classic case of playing myself.
Yeah. Yeah, you zigged when everybody zagged, but everybody zigged, so you got zagged. There you go.
Yeah.
In honor of the announcement today that Terminator 2 will be back in theaters in the fall, name me an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
What was the...
I only know the Terminator.
There's a lot
I'm trying
of
to
them.
think of the name. Oh, actually, I'm gonna go with the Expendables.
You are safe. Well done.
Gonna take.
I not
Sex
remember
Man.
he was in there.
I'm going Running Man.
You are also safe. Well done, Beast McNeese. Mom Martinez, you would have gotten got. I chose Batman and Robin.
Of course,
Mr.
he did.
Freeze. I'm coming for you, Batman. All right. I loved that was one of my favorite Batmans growing up, and I know that it was one of the cheesiest ones, but I loved that movie.
We were kids at that time. We were supposed to love it. You know what I mean? I love
Poison
that.
Ivy, Uma Thurman, let's go.
Bro, Robin, come on. Yeah,
Tommy Lee Jones is Two-Face.
You
Jim
had
Carrey,
Batgirl too.
Riddler.
Come on. Batgirl was
It
lit.
was low-key his best performance, Suck. Absolutely. All right, last one. In honor of PlayStation just sucking ass, name me a game system.
Nintendo Wii.
You were safe. Well done.
I'm gonna say
I think I
same
know what you're gonna
ballpark.
say.
Nintendo Switch.
Ooh, you're safe too. I almost got you both. Nintendo 64 is what I went for.
Oh,
The OG classic.
I froze. What did he say?
Nintendo 64.
Was this GameCube?
I went Switch.
He went Switch.
Oh,
Yeah. Game Boy Color is a good one too, Ma. Well done. All right, that's Don't Get Got. Jackson, well done. You made it through. Good job.
I could have
Although-
made it through too had I just listened to myself.
You listen to yourself, Sauce Man. Come on now.
That's crazy.
There you go. Tail the Best Espresso 4 if you would like to today. Tampa Bay Rays on the money line from PJ Glasser. 2 bases from James Wood from Sauce Man. Shohei Ohtani, 2 bases from me, myself, Sauce Man and myself. Me, myself, and I. I don't know. And then Paige Beckers to have a big night tonight against the Liberty over 31.5 PRA plus 1,000 pretty much, depending on where you're shopping. Get involved. We appreciate you guys to the last 2 hours right here on the Betting News Network. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. Give us a follow, like and subscribe to the channel. Get involved with all the content we have right here. You can always go check us out for free at bettingnews.com as well with all the free content and information that we provide for you, and come back and hang out with us right here every single day on Twitch, on YouTube, and on X. We got a lot of fun stuff moving forward as football gets closer and closer. All the vibes. The Shags will be live in the morning tomorrow on a hump day edition of the Morning Spread. V will not be. It's not the Green Goblins tomorrow on Betspresso. Just a normal rocking and rolling Betspresso with Mr. Kaufman and PJ tomorrow. Maybe myself. I might pop in as well. We'll see what happens.
Oh, yeah.
But that's Sauce Man. Go follow him on the timeline. V, you got anything else for the kids before we get out of here?
Happy Tuesday. Let's just see a ton of home runs tonight. It's Dinger Tuesday. Come on. Can we just get some dingers? That's
Can
all
we
I ask for.
please and thank you? Can we get some dingers? You guys came for the winners. You stayed for the vibes. Big shout out to Beast McNeese down below, pressing the 1s and 2s. Catch you guys tomorrow. Have a great night tonight. Enjoy whatever you get up to, and we'll see you on the next one. Take it easy, chat.
What you know about rolling down in the deep? Down in the deep. Now I know y'all be loving this shit right here. Rolling. What you gonna do? Rolling. What you gonna do? Down in the rolling. What you gonna do? Right, y'all be loving this shit. What you know about